Oh my god. Hello? I'm I'm gonna try and stall this entire fucking time because because uh I don't know. I don't know why this game scares me so much. I'm gonna be real. I honestly don't. But this game it scares me more than everything actually. So I don't know. I just tried to stall. It's just what I'm doing. If this game had Ben drowned, I mean, I'm not scared of Ben drowned. Ben drowned is just kind of, I don't know. I think he's a funny guy. He's kind of a funny guy, you know. He's just there. He just likes looking at you. Also, I can't take him seriously because of fuck. I don't know if you've ever seen this one video that he posted. The fucking hang on. I need to find it. This is gonna copyright me. But this shit just made me stop taking Ben Drowned so seriously. Hang on. Where is it? It's over here. When I saw this video, I couldn't take him seriously anymore. And this is the actual guy who made Ben Drowned 2, by the way. I couldn't take it seriously. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Like I said, Ben Drowned's not the problem. I accidentally exited this. I didn't mean to. But yeah, Ben Drowned's not the problem. Why do you think I'm scared of Ben Drowned? When did I ever say I was scared of Ben Drowned? I've never been scared of Ben Drowned. Your decorations are getting cut off? Yeah, I know. They've been doing that because I changed the shit. But WeToo Studio sucks. So I can't change it any more than this. Unless I go down. Just because of how I sit. You know, that's just how it has to be. Because the rigging's too good. For me. I can't do anything about that, you know? I'm just kind of stuck here. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna stream. I'm gonna play this game. Is it your source, Nobi? No, it's not. It's WeToo Studio. I can't move. There we go. Clown, hello, Leru. I'm scared to play the game. It has violence. I'm scared of violence. See, it contains scenes of violence. I'm scared of violence. Is this an OC? No. I mean, yes, technically. Hi, hello, Bilal. Oh my god, it's been a while since you've been here. I'm scared of the violence, bro. And that shit's so loud. I don't know why that shit's so loud. I know you can't hear it, actually. Wait. I don't know why it takes so long to get this. I don't know why. I don't know why it takes so long to, see the source. And so I always have to do it manually because of that. And I think it sucks that I had to do that. But it's so loud. I know it's loud. Yeah, this shit loud, bruh. Hey, God, let me turn it down a little bit more. Even though it's at, 60%. There, it's at 40% now. Why make a spank noise? Because that's what he does, bro. See, that's what he does. That's what he wants to do to you. Don't trust Bucky Beaver, bro. Do not trust him. What is this game about? You'll see, I guess. I had to make my choice. 2023 Shipwrecked as it was intended to be, recreated using a game design doc and older assets. I'm gonna play 2023 first, because 2023 is cool, I guess. You'll literally... Oh fuck, I forgot to do that.
Your help.
Step into the 3D realm with Bucky and his friends.
I literally forgot I did that.
A vast open island, and hopefully bring your friends back to safety.
Bro, I told you, don't trust Bucky Beaver.
Buddy? Let's go rescue the gang.
You can't trust this guy. This is why you can't trust this guy. Do not trust Bucky Beaver, bro. Where am I? Whoa, Nintendo 64. I love the Nintendo 64. The Nintendo 64 is so cool. I wish I owned one. Hello. Hello. Welcome to Shipwreck 64 2023 because Nintendo 64 is old. I don't know. What am I saying? Nintendo 64 was made in 1964, and now it's in 2023, and now it's like, oh, it was meant to release in 1997, but it was pulled after 3 days for reasons we now know. We have been working on trying to restore the game. This is the closest possible thing to a finished copy. Thank you. Bucky Beaver, I love you. I don't love you, actually. Go away. Get away from me. We were able to transfer most of the games to new software, but had to fill some gaps ourselves. Fuck you, Bucky Beaver. Get him away. Get that bitch away from me. This version of the game is mostly clean. What do you mean by that? Is it a FNAF or is this a creepypasta? It's Shipwreck 64. Is that what the game is? Is that what it says it is? Yeah, that's what it is. Day 1. I can do things. Apparently I'm bullying someone according to TikTok. I'm sorry, TikTok chat. I bullied you, and I'm sorry. Look at Bucky Beaver. Do not trust him. Oh, hi. Looks like my prayers have been answered. Listen, you gotta help me. I was out on the sea with my friends. When I crashed my boat, it was awful. And my friends were all kidnapped. It was pretty bad, yeah. But you can help, right? Here, let me show you. Why is it so loud still? I don't like it because this'll be horrible. Try using the analog stick to move. That's what I'm doing. Yep, I'm doing that, bitch. Yeah, I know. No. Fuck you. Oh, that's how oh, is it just a triple jump? Oh, it is. Okay, I thought it was like a long jump, but no, it's a triple jump. What does this say? It says the hole. I will go in the hole. I don't remember the map. I'm going to be real with you. I do not remember the map. I don't know where I am. I did this once. Oh, that is the save. Where am I? It's a note about the hole. Hello and welcome to Nola Terra. You're in the hole now as a safe space for— I don't like— No, I can't be in a safe space. No, please. I'm playing this to be uncomfortable. Like I said, this game scares me. I mean, this is the not scary part. That's why I'm not scared. But after I go to the old version, then I'm gonna be— yeah. Living quarter. I don't know why I had to press X to open doors. I don't like it. It says the beach. The bitch. I'm in the bitch. Yep. That's what I said. I'm gonna bully everyone. And harass someone. Because that's what TikTok thinks I'm doing. Who wants to get bullied and harassed? By me. Celeste Solaria. Who wants to do it? I'll do it. Believe me. Walrus. Walter. Oh my god, it's Walter. Thank goodness you're here. Bad weather won't you up here too. Oh my god, I love— wait, he's also blue. I love Breaking Bad. Oh my god. I love Breaking Bad. Just open the gates and we'll be good. Oh, and don't move if it gets dark. It's hard to explain. Do your best. Bro, where am I? Hello? Oh, hello. What do I do? I just move, right? I have to do something about the gates, apparently. And I can't move when it gets dark? Or something? I don't know. What am I doing? What does this do? What does this do? I don't know what that does. I'm going. Where? I can't move. What the hell? Oh, do I go in here? I like how it says hearts. I think I did the hardest one. For the first one. And I don't like that. See, I'm dead. I can't platform, bro. To be fair, this shit suck. Interesting. Surely this will not become a mechanic later, right? Oh my god, look at his eyes. Yeah, surely this will not become a mechanic later. Surely not. I hope not, bro. That'll scare me. I will be so scared right now. I'm so scared right now, actually. Why did I have to press X to do this? I'm so fucking scared right now. Holy shit. Oh my god. Why are these little like... No. I'm fucking dead. Bro, that was like immediately. Let me in! Let me in! No, I'm not a bad gamer. I can't suck at the horror game. No. I had to be good at the horror game, bro. I had to. I can't suck at it. Yeah, just go in. I don't know if I can, like, ride the boat. And it'll, like, you know... not count. I don't remember. Like I said, it's been too long since I fucking played this. Oh, I could do that. Okay. I don't know why I thought I couldn't. Wait, oh my god, because the second jump doesn't look like a second jump. I'm so fucking scared right now. I'm so fucking scared. The hooks. It's like SpongeBob, bro. The hooks.
Here you go, have a head pat.
It's the fucking hooks. Thanks for the head pat. You know, when I get to the actual scary part of the game, I'm gonna hate it. Because I'm pretty sure it makes you do something like this. But I don't remember. Bro, that's... Yay! They're trolling me. Why are they trolling me? Get away! Oh my fucking god, I hate this. I hate this. I'm being trolled right now. Why is it 1 second, like, a little bit, and then, like, other times it's, like, a minute? I don't understand. They just hate me, I think. And like I said, I don't know if I can stay on the fucking boat while it's doing this shit. Oh my god. The only scary thing is, I have to do platforming in this horror game. Like, why would they make me do this? I don't want to fucking platform, bro. Like, I love platform. I love platforming, bro, but I don't want to do it in a horror game, you know? That's what makes it scary. Like, see, why is it so long sometimes? I don't understand. No, get the fuck on. Oh my god, I had to triple jump. Fuck off. Does that count? Okay. At least they're not assholes about it, I guess. Yeah, I can fall like a rock and it not count. You know, that makes sense, I guess. It makes a lot of sense. I shouldn't have done that. Or maybe I should have. Okay, yeah. Bye! Those doors remind me of that one sound in Luigi's Mansion. Oh, I can't stay on the boat. Oh my god, I shouldn't have panicked. Because, you know, I thought this would be moving, but whatever, bro. I don't know anything, I guess. I'm stupid. Fuck off. I freed Walter. I have saved Walter Hartwell White. Oh my god. I am breaking my bad right now. My bad is so broken right now. Get the fuck away from me, Walter. It's 9 PM. I can't fail anything or else I'm gonna die. I don't know where anything is. I don't even know where Walter is. Walter, you're the only one I care about. Thank you, Walter. I have freed you. Help me, Walter. Walter, tell me where to go. Walter, what the fuck? Who the fuck is this? Did you hear about the volcano? You're right, fight is for its eruption. You've got 120 hours. If I were you, I'd use them wisely. I'm sorry, Larry, I can't see that because my Twitch chat sucks. Walter. Thank you, Walter. Walter, you have to help me, Walter. Walter, please. Where am I going, Walter? Please tell me. You didn't tell me where to go. It says theater. I'm going to the theater. Thank you, Walter. I will take you to the movies, Walter. That's where I'm going. I'm gonna say Walter, thank you. I will say Walter every single time. Who the fuck are you? Giovanni Goose. Hey, what took you so damn long? Look, Wolves been on my tail all day. Part of my debt is to cook for these mutts, but I can't turn the dials with these wings. They're useless. Okay, get in there, rodent. Why the fuck do I have to do it? Fuck you. I heard a piano. I heard a piano. I don't know if I like that piano. Oh, I see. No, stop playing the piano. Oh my god, it reminds me of that fucking SpongeBob thing. I forgot what it was, but it was like a specific thing. You know the episode I'm talking about, right? SpongeBob Freaks, yeah? Where the fuck? Stop. Stop. I said stop playing the piano, please. I don't even know what's on fire. Please. Bro, I said stop playing the fucking piano. Right now. Stop it. Whoever's playing that, stop it. Right now, please. For my sanity. I need you to stop. Thank you, I saved this guy. Do I have to talk to you? Oh, no, okay. I freed Giovanni Goose! Thank you. I don't have a funny name to speak with you, so I'm just gonna call you Skylar White. That's your name. Yep. Smell that? That right there, my friend, is a good meal. I'm impressed, I'll admit, first time too. I'll ride to you at the beach. It looks like it's midnight. We should try to find a place to sleep. You should go to the hole for now. I can go to the hole for now. Think it's so dark. I don't like how dark it is. Why is this game so loud? I don't understand. You know, maybe that's why it scared me. Because this game was so fucking loud. And then there's some things later that are like, I don't want to deal with this, you know? It says the park. Oh, I gotta go there next. Okay, I understand. I can go there next. I gotta free people though. These people's lives are at stake or something. It says the beach. Okay. Yeah, these doors remind me of... Oh my god, like the one Stan and Luigi's Mansion. I don't know if like any of you know what I'm talking about. It says the park. I can go to the park. I'm going here though. I have to sleep apparently. Let me sleep. Well, day one. It's been nice having you around. Let's get some more friends tomorrow. Bro, he's so chill. Too bad he has to go through horrors beyond his comprehension later. You know, that's what kind of sucks. Like later, he's gonna go through hell. This guy and me are both going through hell. 1 PM. Help me. Bucky Beaver, help me. Walter White, help me. Skylar White, help me. What the fuck? I'm not gonna remember what I'm calling them, by the way. Why'd I name you Skylar White? I could've named you something better. Whatever. It says Town Hall. I will go in. I will save this guy. I don't know who the fuck this guy... Why is it taking so long? I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but I'm gonna save him. You know, this guy, I haven't even seen him, but he's Mike. Oh my god, it is Mike. It looks like I missed one. Well, hello. Listen, I know it was an accident, but you're scaring our town half to death. I know where your boat is. It's in pieces. There's a forest nearby, Slumber Woods. Go there and get your boat pieces. I'll fix it for you, and you can leave. Now scram. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Where the fuck am I? Press the Z button. Oh, that's the Z button. Why do I gotta press the Z button? Where the fuck am I? Get me to my boat? Oh. That doesn't look good. Wait, where'd I bring it? What the fuck is that? I don't like it. Oh. That's what that is. Okay, you know what? You just stay over there, Slender Man. I will come over here and we could be cool. We could be chill. How do I put this down? Wow, one right here. That's crazy. Okay, goodbye, Slenderman. Yo, goodbye, Slenderman. I'm not coming towards you. Leave me alone. Or what are you more like? Jason? I don't fucking know. I don't know anything. What am I doing? Get me out of here. I hope this doesn't become a mechanic later. Huh? I actually don't remember. That's the scary thing. I don't remember. Okay, so like, you know, a little bit of horror, but like, you know, it's not that bad. I can still do this. It's not that scary yet. Yep. It's not that bad. I mean, I'm actually not scared right now. I'm playing it up. But like, later I might be paranoid. I think I'll let you know when I'm paranoid too. Actually, it might be obvious when I'm paranoid. Okay, anyway, bye. There's some shit over here. What the hell? And I can't fucking run. This is the fastest he goes. This bitch is a fat fuck. I'm sorry, Bucky Beaver, it's true. Bucky Hartwell Beaver. Yep, that's your name. So why do I have, like... this? Why do I have this? It's kinda weird. How I just had this ability right now. Okay, you know what? I'm going to use Slender Man. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Uh-oh. I didn't realize how close you were. Nah, you don't see me. Yeah, you don't see me. Yeah, you're slow, buddy. He's right behind me, isn't he? Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah, fuck you. I'm leaving. I probably shouldn't go for this one. I'm being completely honest. Cause like, you see him, he's right there. He's right there. Is he right there though? Oh, he is right there. No, get away from me. Does he know where I am at all times, or just like being stupid? I don't know what he's doing. Bro, he's gonna camp this place. He's gonna camp that spot. I know he is. I know how this fuck thinks. I know who he is. Why is it so far away? Why is it actually so far away? Bro, he is camping it. I hate him. First time seeing this being streamed? Whoa. Wasabi, hello. This is my... well, technically second time playing it, but I never beat it. I did do this part, though. I'll tell you exactly where I stopped playing. I think it was pretty early. Or maybe it's pretty late. I don't remember. Can you go away? Why do you sound like rain? Can you go away? You're so annoying. I don't like you. Go away. Thank you. Yay. I've only seen this series. Oh. Wait, what do I do now? I win. Yeah, I win. I win. Okay, why does it take forever? It makes me feel like I did something wrong. Well, I got my fucking boat back. I'm so cool. You actually don't know who I am. I'm so cool. Got it good, leave it there. I'm gonna fix this hunk of junk. You get out of my face. Do what you got. Okay, goodbye, Mike. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm calling them Breaking Bad characters. I don't know why. I found Walter. I found Skyler White. And now I found Mike. Oh my god, who else am I gonna find? I don't fucking know. Nice of you to just crash in like that. We're all trying to live our lives. If you wanna keep yours, then leave. You wouldn't wanna stay here too long. I got my bones, all that matters. Okay, that's the beach. I don't wanna go there. I do wanna save though. Oh my god. That's the save of my life. It says living quarters. Wait, isn't that where I was? Oh wait, no, I had to save you. Right. Why does it sound like a threat? Cause it is. Thank goodness you're okay. Listen, I'm in a tight situation. Yeah, when we were sent together. Oh, coconuts. To pay off our debts for the crash. I'm not great at finding things though. If you can help, I'll be able to leave. They're often hidden in trees. Okay, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Fuck you, I can do that. I gotta find 30 fucking coconuts. Fuck this. Why does it take so long to open this? Oh my fucking god. The trees have nothing. Never mind, the trees have shit. Oh, I just had to hit them like 3 fucking that sucks. I'm not gonna find 30 fucking coconuts in this time. I'm being so for real. Cause like... Okay, I already did that tree, whatever. Yeah, I'm not gonna remember the trees I did. I'm not gonna remember the fucking coconuts. I'm trying not to hit her, even though it doesn't do anything yet. Scanning zero coconut, what the hell? Hello, did I do this tree? Oh, yes, I did. I have to find dirty as hell. Oh my god. You know, this gets so much easier when I get to kill her. I mean, so on. Is that a spoiler? You know, it gets so much easier when I get to kill her. I'm being completely honest. Not for you. Why is Spanking it? Because he has to do that, bro. I told you, don't trust Bucky Beaver. And you're trusting him anyway. But I told you not to. You see, it's your fault now. For trusting this guy. I told you not to do it. I really tried to warn you. Okay, I'm halfway there. Fucking beaver got behavior fever. Hey, so that's why I'm swinging trees, cause you can't trust Bucky Beaver, bro. I'm telling you not to trust this guy. But like, everyone wants to trust him for some reason. I don't know why. I don't understand. Oh my god, this is so tedious. Thank you, this is so tedious. At least they made the trees like darker, I don't know. Okay, yep, that's it. I should just open the chest, bro. That's all I should do, because they've had a coconut every single time. I found a secret. Whoa. That's not a coconut though, so I don't care. Check the menu later to see it. Okay, fuck you, Bucky Beaver, I hate you. Come on, just 3 more. Bro, just 3 more. Oh my god, bro, just 3 more. Just 3 more. Just 3 more. Just 3 more. Okay, just 2 more. Please, Bucky Beaver. Okay, just 1 more. Bucky Beaver, please. Oh my god, yes, thank you. Yippee! I freed Olive Otter. It's in the world, Kerbin and this odd. I mean, that's how a lot of old games were made. That's why they did it. But if he's kind of good at it, though, what do you mean by that? Oh, thank you, thank you. I'll meet you at the shore. You truly are a hero. Bye. I got all of our friends. Now let's get back to the boat. We can keep searching as well. Whatever you want. I have a friend. It doesn't matter. Oh wait, is that where it ends? Leave now, miss on extras. Nice having you here. I don't remember how to go in the volcano. That's the thing. I don't remember how to go in the volcano. You like Digimon? I never played Digimon. I do like Pokemon though. Maybe we can go back to the town hall.
Here
You're called though.
Have a head pat.
It says living quarter. That's not where. Is this? What the fuck? Where do I go? Hi, Cash. How's it going? Oh right, and then, wait, is that the town hall? I don't fucking remember anything. This bitch don't remember anything. This feels like it is a horror game. It says the beach. I don't fucking remember anything. Hi, Kuja. How's it going? Hello, chocolate ring voice. Hello, Voodoo. Oh my god, I love how that's always your only message, but like, I don't know, I love it. I actually do love it. I appreciate it every single time. It says theater. That's not the town hall. Where is the town hall? I don't remember. It's over here, isn't it? It's over here, isn't it? Actually, like I said, I don't fucking remember. Okay, it's not over here. It's where the wolf was. But I don't remember where- it's where Mike was. I'm sorry. But I don't remember where he was. Yes, Mike from Breaking Bad. Yes, that Mike. Hi, Krexic. How's it going? I hope you haven't been clowning around
Here
a
you
lot.
go. Have a head pat.
I've been clowning around a lot, actually. Where the fuck do I go? Where's the town hall? Just trees every. How do you remember any? I don't know how you remember anything. That's why I don't remember anything. Oh wait, this is the town hall. Yeah. Okay. I remembered. I remembered. I'm running out of time. I'm gonna die. Uh-oh. Oh, hello. Hiya, friend. It's been a while since I've seen anyone. I used to be living in town. Then I was disarmed. Lol. Lately though, I've fallen for a rabbit. But I can't just talk to her. I want to draw her instead. Can you come in and help me draw? Just keep my painting topped off. My paint topped off and my canvas upright, thank you. Whoa.
Okay,
Lies.
you go gather some paint. Now I'll get right to drawing.
Can you stop talking to me? I didn't like that. Don't ever speak to me ever again. Okay, thank you. Alright, cause I have to keep your canvas upright, right? Yeah. He's using my fucking paint! Uh-oh. I kinda hate the triple jump. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, fuck you. I know what to do. I can do shit. I can help this guy. Yep. I can do it. Well, 4 paint jars. I'm doing so much for this guy. Okay, can I help you now, or like, what are you gonna do, bro? What are you gonna do about this, bro? Like, how do I help you? How do I just stand here? Like, I don't know. What do I do? You have no R's, like, what am I gonna do about this? Like, see, you dropped it immediately. Rock rate? Oh my god, wait! Oh, you're preempting it? Oh my god. You scared me. Oh wait, now I'm getting raided. Whoa, that's crazy. Wait. Larry, can you give a shout out? Hello. I haven't had a rated so I haven't streamed in so long, so I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But hello, Bog Prince. Oh wait, your name's Keto, yeah. I forgot. Anyway, hello, my name is Celeste Solaria. I'm a back clown VTuber. I mainly play Nintendo and horror games, and this game fucking scares me, so, I'm dying. But anyway, hello. Yeah, streamer Magnet in this guy over here. I mean, I haven't been for, a while, but now I have been, so yeah. No, you bitch! But yes, hello, how's it going? What were you playing? What were you doing? Sorry, I'm a little on edge, because like I said, this game actually scares me, and, I'm dying right now. But I hope you had a good stream, whatever it was. I hope you had a good thing. I hope everything went well for you. I'm fucking dying. I'm paranoid, bro. Ritbound was on a cart. Oh, I see. Okay. You can see what this guy is painting. Yeah, look at it. Look at what he's painting. He's so cute. Too bad he's based off a kind of horrible person, if I remember. I don't remember, actually. In-game, obviously, not an actual, like, real human being. Oh yeah, cause, actually I don't want to spoil it. I want to get to that. I want to show you everything. I just kind of had to stand here, though, you know? Actually, I can give you the shout-out right now, I think. I don't know. Oh no, Larry did it. Thank you, Larry. Yeah, see, I don't appreciate Larry, actually. And you know what? I'm gonna keep it like that. Sorry, you're not getting appreciated, buddy. That's just how it's meant to be. Stay in character. But yeah, that's just how it's meant to be. You know, did I win?
Bucky, huh, it's done.
I told you not to talk to me. I hate him. I hate him. He does the same thing to me, asking me to shout out people I've already shouted out. Yeah, it's because in truth they don't appreciate me. Okay, wait, I shouldn't say that. I don't appreciate Larry. Sorry, that's a lie. I do appreciate him. But I also like bullying him, because it's funny. You know? It is funny to me, actually. I don't know if it's funny to him. Just don't shut up people if I don't do it when... Yeah, see, that is what I do. I do that. Okay. I was wondering what the fuck was happening. But honestly, I think that's what mods deserve. Mods deserve no rights. Can we get that going? I think it would trend really well, actually. I think. Personally. It says theater. Should unionize or something? That's crazy. That you said it at the same time. Man, you really made my day. Look at it. Isn't it a beauty? When she sees this, she'll be falling into my arms. Or nuts. Anyways, thank you. Seriously, bravo, Picasso. Oh, right. Can you check up on my other paintings too? I left some lying around at the town hall. Thanks. Oh, I had to go again. What the fuck? What's wrong with you? Same brain cell? Yeah, honestly. It's because mods all need the same brain cell to function, to be able to shout someone out. Hey there, hello. I always had to look here instead. Hello. Oh wait, you're the guy for... Yeah, hello. Thank you for lurking over here instead. Also, I love how you had the same name on both platforms. Honestly, I love that you know what you're about. I respect it a lot. Who the fuck are you? JD. Oh my god, it's the vice president. I'm gonna kill him. Surprised we haven't had a pretty bad crash. I heard all about it. You know, I've caught a secret. There's actually a whole in-game. There's actually a whole barge somewhere, but it's tucked away in a cave. And the only way to do it is through the volcano. You've only got one shot, but you can do it. Let me take you there. We can save the island, or you would... They never let old me do it. Also, hello, James Workman. Workman, work. You work. Yep. Oh my god, how do I do this? That's how I do it. Oh, and Thigh Lover, thanks for the follow, honk honk. I hope you're doing good, and I hope I don't fucking fall in this lava. But so far, I'm doing okay. I'm good at platforming sometimes. When I want to be. You know, yeah, when I want to be, I'm good at platforming, but that's only when I want to be. I had to triple jump over there. I think I fucked it up. I barely fucked it up. Oh my god. Oh, hi Prince Anime, how's it going? Well, everyone is here. You know, maybe I should stream earlier more. What the fuck does it want me to do? Not that. Do I have to start at the beginning? Oh my god. How do I get across that? I don't know how I get across that. Oh well, I guess I'll get the bad ending this time. Does it really matter to me? Yeah, how the fuck do I get across this? I mean, not this. But like that. Hello? What does it want me to do? Because yeah, my only form of long jump is the triple jump. So how do I do this? Do I have to go somewhere else? I don't fucking know. I'm gonna fail this though. I'm gonna die. Uh-oh. I'm gonna die. I'm panicking now, I'm gonna die. I just start from the big piece first. Hang on, I can maybe go over there. Fast enough. I can maybe go over there fast enough. Maybe. No. Don't get tempted, yep. Yep. Remember your roots, yep. I'm remembering my roots. All I used to play was platformers. Yep, okay, I remember my roots, yep. Cause the thing is... Like, what the fuck? Cause that's closest. I don't think I can make it there. I mean, maybe I can. No, I can't. I definitely can't. Like, what do I do? That's crazy. They gave me an impossible jump that I don't remember how to make. But I know it's a very specific jump. I had to make it to the side. I'm gonna lose. I mean, like I said, I haven't gotten a bad ending. Yeah, I don't know if there's an achievement for it, so I could just get it. Okay, just going over here. Actually, what's over here? Is it really this simple? No. Phone me from the game. That's to the side, you can make it. Oh no, I fucked it up. Yeah, no, I can't do this. What the hell? I died twice, what the hell? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm dead, bruh. I'm surprised that still counted. No. Wow. I'm dead. Bucky Beaver is gone. Honestly, good riddance. Fuck you, Bucky Beaver. You deserve this. But like I said, I didn't get the bad ending, so honestly, cool. I'm glad I can see this for once, because I don't think I've ever seen anyone show a bad ending. They always showed a good ending. I don't know how I was supposed to do that jump though. That's crazy. How the fuck do I do this shit? I never heard this game was actually an N64 game. No, it's on my PC. And it can only work on the PC, and you'll see why in a second. Yippee, I got the bad ending. Oh wait, I did get an achievement. Oh my god, yes, I'm so glad. I'm actually really glad I got that achievement now. Or that I did this. Because I didn't remember how to make the fucking jump. This is a horror game, but like, this isn't the scary part yet. But now I'm in the scary part. So you'll see. What did I do? Whoa, I got credits, whoa! Everyone just took a big nap, they did, actually. I'm so glad they did. Wait, there's a voice cast? Since when? Since I know they talked to me, but since when? So why did I get the credits here? What did I press? I'm pressing things that Steam doesn't like. For some reason. Oh wait, I think I pressed the Xbox button. I hate how loud that is. That's the one thing I hate. Okay, now I gotta play the old version, the true version, I guess. So the one I played right now was the 2023 version. But I had to play this one. The game that was removed from shelves, think outside the box, it's deeper than you know. Now this is where the scary shit happens. Please don't.
Hey, everyone!
I hate you.
I need your help.
Get away from me! I don't want to help you. Shipwreck is pulled from shelves after 3 days. I don't want to help you. Go away from me. Get away. Fuck you. Yeah, the game received many complaints after its launch. Buddy Simulator 1987. I think I've heard of it. This was Cogware's second last game.
So what do you say, buddy? Let's go rescue the gang.
Can you like stop speaking to me? I don't like you. Tap down on drugs? Yeah, definitely not. Hello, hello. Welcome to Shipwreck 64, 1997. I'm gonna fucking scare you shitless. You're welcome. There's gore here or something, I know that. Information on the game has been very sparse since its soft launch in 1997. Turn it over in Discord for friends and had a moment to join me and everyone get really quiet for a second. Really? I feel like that's gonna happen now. This game will not work on emulators, but after some tinkering, we built our own for this game. The game was developed by Cogware Games. 2X devs helped us create this version of the game. I don't remember who they were. This game may have some glitches or artifacts. It is not for the faint of heart. Yeah. Yeah. Bro, that's putting it lightly, bro. This is exactly how we found the game unaltered. I don't want to play it anymore. I'm scared of this. Like, this game, like I said, this game actually scares me. And this is the... I think you were wondering, like, while I was playing it, like, why? Why exactly does it scare you? You're about to see in a second. Oh, hi! Stop talking to me. Nah, it's fine. Look at my partner. My prayers have been answered. You gotta help me, yeah, this is the same as the fucking beginning. Stop fucking talking to me. I don't like you. Okay, you know what? You're different from the other one, but still, I hate you. Try you. Stop fucking speaking to me. Thank you. Okay, I don't remember what exactly you have to do. Because like it said, you have to think outside the box. I'm pretty sure what it is, though, is failing the minigames. But I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So I'm pretty sure I had to do these minigames again, and I had to fail them. So I kind of just had to wait for the light to, like, do its thing. I mean, this one sucks, it's just patience. But it does just suck. And when it happens, I don't know if I'm serious. Okay, time to fail over and over again. I'm not bad, I promise. It's what I have to do, I promise. I promise. I promise it's what I had to do, I promise. I promise this is what I had to do, I promise. I'm dead. It's still so loud, I don't like it. Those hooks are sharp, huh? I know you've got this, though. Come on, you can do it. I don't want to. I don't want to. Alright. Yeah, I'm not bad, I promise. I'm not bad at the game, I promise. I just have ADHD, bro. I can't stop moving. Bro, I just have ADHD. I can't stop moving. I told you, I can't stop moving. Yeah, whatever. Fuck you. I feel like it's different now. And also, I felt like the light happened a lot faster, so... I think it definitely knows what the fuck I tried to do. Which I'm glad. Okay, well, now it's not. That scared me. I'm turning my volume down. And this shit's so loud. Oh, hello. Please don't kill anyone. That would be bad. Okay, you didn't kill anyone this time, thank you. Oh, he's dead. Bye. There's a specific one I want to save for last, so... This time? Yeah, this time. So, I will not do it. It says theater. I don't remember if this guy has a... thing. A thing. A thing. This guy does not have a thing. That looks not good. Oh wait, you're not- yeah, I don't want to do you. Yeah. I get it, that's the one I want to save for last. A thing. Why'd the music stop? Why'd they do this? Like, what's the point? It doesn't have to be scarier than this, you know? It doesn't. It doesn't have to be like this. Oh, there we go. Hello. I will kill you now. I fucking thank goodness, yeah, whatever, I read you by... Fuck you. Oh wait, Enox, you know how you said, like, Bucky just, like, wants to spank people? Well, guess what? Fuck this bitch. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. I killed her. Bro, I just want to smack her ass. What's wrong with that? Yeah, what's wrong with that? I just want to smack her ass. Wait, do I have to find her? Or do I have to go to bed? It says living quarters. Oh wait, I have to go to bed and I have to find her again, right? Yeah. Okay. It says town hall. That's not where I want to go. I want to go here. I have to go to bed for some reason. Going to bed sucks, but I have to go to bed. Bro, what's wrong with wanting a little ass? I don't know what's wrong with that. Though, to be fair, besides the cutscenes, the way you failed it was kind of funny. Because what you just- I mean, besides the first one that I did. In the second one, I just had to, like, burn on fire, and I don't know. And in the other one, I had to smack her ass. Like, it's kind of weird. The cutscenes aren't funny, but you know, whatever. Why'd you go to bed? Why would you do that? Don't go to bed this time. Let me hit you. Again. Where are you? Let me smack your ass again. Yeah, let me do this, bro. What the fuck? Why am I failing the minigame by doing this? I don't think I deserve this. The label says Olivia's last phone call.
Hello, we're not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
You showed up at the door again. I don't know what to do. There's something about us and there's just felt wrong.
Well, that doesn't sound good. Nothing I can do about it, though.
Showed up at the door again. I don't know what to do.
Help me. Oh my god. I maybe saw that in the corner, because I was blocking it, but there's something there. Hey, whoops. I guess we're both not great at finding. That's okay, we can always go again. Yeah, let me smack your ass again. Where are you? Fuck you! I wonder if these numbers mean anything. OMG. Ah, I suck. I hate women. I'm a bad person. I'm calling HR. Ah. Oh. Oh. Hi. I died. I don't think I was supposed to do that. Do I chase you? Is that what I do? What the fuck? Okay, I guess. That is what I did. Huh. Well, that was cool. I guess. I didn't like the footsteps I heard, but that was kinda cool. Bro, I remember last time I streamed this. I wasn't, in this model. I was, like, under a different model. You're supposed to drown, is there, pretty much. I think I only got the 2 hours of this game, and I just didn't want to play it anymore. Cause it scared me that much. Like, I'm remembering now. I was like, why did I not go that far in the game? Now I'm remembering. You know, now I'm remembering. And I hate this cutscene. Hey, what took you so damn long? Look, Wolf's been on my tail all day. Part of my debt is to cook for these butts. Yeah, whatever. Fuck you. Okay, I gotta let this... What the hell? What the hell? Get away from me! Get away from me! I don't remember you. I don't remember you. Wait, what happens if she gets me? Oh. You kinda suck. Fuck you. Can you stop playing the piano? Can you stop playing the piano? I don't like you. I'm dead. What did you do, you stupid rat? Get back in there and do it right. I can. Ads, yeah. I will stay here. You know what? I'll go on Twitter for the relief. That's what I'll do. Because I just remember this being sudden. I don't remember, like, how sudden. I just remember it being sudden. So it's like, huh. You know? That's why. That's why I don't want to do this shit. You know? I just want to stay here until that ad, like, the ad stops, you know? That's what I'm doing. I am not okay. Actually, I am okay. Right now. For now. But, you know, later, I won't be okay. I know that. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, and I used to stream at 6 PM too. That's why I was also bad, because I used to stream at 6 PM too. So it was like even worse. Because it was darker. Sabi Ed's got body, yeah. I'm on fire! Oh. You know, I didn't want to do that, but whatever. I'm not gonna look at the screen. Because I don't know if it's now. It is now. My string is shaking. Oh, it is definitely now. If I talk to you again, I think. It's not working. Oh yeah, there you go. I don't like this cutscene. This cutscene I fucking hate. I hate this cutscene so much because of the gore. I can't do gore, that's why. Okay, you know what, that works for me. Why do you sound like that? Don't sound like that. Get away from me. Yeah, I can't do gore. And so that's why that shit. I love horror and all, but gore always feels off. Yeah, that's why I hate gore. I can't deal with gore. That's why I'm just like, I hate that cutscene so much. Oh, that's his corpse in the... Oh, I remember. You know, he kind of had a horrible time. Like, I feel like his death is, like, the worst. I don't know. I mean, one did drown. So, I don't know. But, like, I don't know, being put in the deep fryer while you're still alive, I feel like that's also, like, I don't know. I feel like that would suck. A lot. You know? I feel like that would suck a lot. Why am I in FNAF? I don't want to be in FNAF. Not for real. I don't like FNAF. Bitch, I'm in FNAF. Hi there, hello. How's it going? Okay, so where do I go now? I have to go home, right? I don't remember. I'm so fucking scared. Actually, I'm not even in the part that scares me. Yet. And you know what sucks about that part too? I can't like turn down my volume. Cause I need to listen. Like you need to listen in that area, and I hate it. This game is so fucking loud. My game is at 40% and it's this loud. That's also why it sucks. Well, day 2, it's been nice having you around. Let's get some more friends tomorrow. Good, how's your work going? It's going good. I'm on day 3 and I don't know what to do. I killed everyone. Or I thought I did. I guess I didn't. Where am I? I don't like these noises. I don't like these noises, actually. Can you stop? What'd I do? It says living quarters. I got earphones too, yeah. Where do I go? Oh. It says... Yeah, whatever that says. I understand. I understand. I'm here. At least the noise is stopped. You know? At least I'm here. Wherever this shit is. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Uh-huh. Okay, so I don't have to ride the boat. I can just go up here and be cool. Okay, that's cool. No. Boats suck. I'm gonna be real. I don't like boats. They fucking suck. Look at that guy. I'm not going over there, you know. What this? The label says code is RXBC. Someone write that down, write that down! I'm not gonna remember! RXBC, someone write that down, I'm not gonna remember. Do it for me. Do it for me. RX, thank you. And then what's so... Oh. I don't need a ship belongs here. It's a photo of the Wolf Chief. Congratulations on the migration. I know time has been hard lately. Broadside's influence is very heavy up there. Enjoy a life of luxury, Chief Wolf. So is Lecture Chief, like, dead then? Or I was in a boat for a field trip in elementary school, and no lie, it felt like nice for like a 1 hour trip. Okay, you know, boats don't suck. I'm lying. But, you know, boats here, they suck. That's what I mean. Oh. Bro is dead. It looks like Walter Strange. Tell me Bucky's right-hand man, Walter I love Walter Rovers. I love fucking Walter Wright. Only Studio Grants copyright Broadside 1996. I love Walter White. It's a note about Obelisk. Today, me and Liz were listening to music. Suddenly the song changed and a loud rumbling was heard. 3 large obelisks began to rise from the water. Golden statues of their 3 pure souls rested on top. Nah, you're right. Both scary as fuck and take false out. Yeah. Yeah. I'm in a mirror. Like, I like riding boats. But, like... I don't know. I don't think I'd ever ride in that type of boat. Over there. Or, okay, this type of boat. Right here. I don't think I'd ever do this. I will be honest. I think if I rode in this type of boat, like, I wouldn't. I would rather kill myself. In a video game, obviously. But, like, I would rather kill myself. What do I do to you? Where do I put RXBC? Why do I hear breathing? Is that a thing up there? I can't tell. That's for the scapegoat, to be fair. That is true. I don't like all the game parts here. Damn, bitch, this guy went crazy. Damn, bitch, I'm crazy. Damn, I'm high on Oxy right now, bruh. My cat OD'd on Oxy, bruh. No one's gonna understand that reference unless you watch the movies. Hello. Rip. My cat OD'd on Oxy, bruh. Look at my cat, bruh. It OD'd on Oxy, bruh. Oh, that's me. Wow. I love me. Fuck you. Okay, if you watch Obsession, you know what I'm talking about. Cause I think in the beginning of the movie, like, his cat just overdoses on oxytocin. And then me and Larry and another friend who's not here, we were just making fun of it the whole time. We were just like, damn, bro, my cat OD'd on Oxy, bro. That shit was crazy. And I don't know, I just thought it was the funniest thing ever. I don't know why I thought it was the funniest thing ever, because it really wasn't, but, you know, it was funny to me. Oh, I can't do that. Oh my god. If this is Mario 64, I would be able to do this, but I can't, because it's not Mario 64, this is Shipwreck 64, what the fuck? Those films must taste good. I mean, it's a cat, so, you know, it's probably fucking stupid. Look, I love cats, but, like, oh no, it was a great cat, never mind. But still, I love cats, but, like, some of them are fucking stupid, you know? That's just how it be. Oh my god, POV, Bucky Beaver wants to give you back shots. Would you take it, yes or no? Would you let this guy give you back shots, bro? Now to open the door. Sorry, I should leave. I almost died. I think I have to go over there. I think I have to ride the boat for some reason. Yeah, would you let Bucky Beaver give you back shots, bro? Imagine him running. Yes, from most. No, I don't trust Bucky Beaver. I don't trust this guy. This guy has like some skeletons in his closet, I think, and I just can't trust him. If he won't tell me the truth, I can't trust him. You know? Okay, so where do we go? I almost died because I didn't know this sail had collision, but where do we go? We go over there? I mean, it'll only take me one way. I can't really choose where we go. Bucky Beaver, why do you always look down? Yeah, you won't look at me. He only looks down. Huh. Bucky, what's wrong with you? What did I do to you? Bucky, why don't you love me? Bucky, you have to love me. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of the gas station called Bucky's, but like, I just think of him when I see this guy. Must be shy. He's probably shy. He looks like a shy guy. I had to go all the way back. I thought the boat would take me somewhere else, but it didn't. But I feel like there's not much I can do in this area, because I had to go up there. Only those are my area. You know, I live in Texas, so there are Bucky's everywhere. But yeah, whenever I call him Bucky Beaver, I just think of that guy, the Bucky's Beaver. Oh wait, I didn't go in here, right? What's in here? Oh, this is how. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. This makes a lot of sense. I don't want to be here. Oh my god, it's the Golden Freddy statue. Holy fuck. You know what? I love Golden Freddy enough to do that. I would. Can I do this thing? No. I see a door, but I don't know if this is the only door. And if I should go closer to Golden Freddy. I mean, Bucky Beaver. Oh, there's a thing. The label says sheet music.
Hello, this is Wolf. I was using one of the Silvertech computers around
Walter.
the place, and would you look at what I found? Online, they have
Walter.
sheet music everywhere. So I could just take one, print it off, and play it on my piano. It's lovely. I found
Get away
this
from me,
one
you're a
song
creep.
I want to try. It's called This is Wolf.
Walter's a creep. Walter White's a creep. Get him away. Hell, Walter. Fuck you, Walter White. Why would you do this to me? Can I open these? No. Can I open this? No. Huh, what do I do then? I have to go backwards. Oh, wait. I think I know. Maybe. This is probably not it. Yeah, it's not it. Okay. I don't know why I just thought of that. Oh, now you're looking at me, buddy. Yeah, you want to talk or what? What's wrong with you? I did nothing to you. So what if you're going through horrors beyond comprehension? It's not my fault. Really, it's your fault, actually. For being created by this guy. Oh, I see. That's a 3. Hi, Bucky. Here to observe the arts, I see. I respect that. Take a look around. I'm gonna be honest, that guy scared me. I just saw, like, a black silhouette. I was like, what the fuck are you? Okay, 3. Oh, I had to put a code based on the flag's colors. Okay. So that's a blue 3. Yep, I can remember that. Is that a... Oh no, that's Stumbler. I was like, what the fuck is this? This place is so amazing. After a while, you begin to forget. All of this, most will never see it. I commend you, though. Tree coconut. Okay, that's a 9. Green 9. Ao-Oni. Yep, blue Ao-Oni, yep. I remember Ao-Oni. Do you remember Ao-Oni? Well, you should. Because Ao-Oni is a cultural icon, I think. Who the fuck is this guy? Ao-Oni is a cultural icon. Red 8. Okay, red 8. What? The fuck? I don't think I've ever been here. Huh. That's never explored, I guess. Oh, coconut. I don't think I want to be here. I'm going to be real. That's an arm. I don't remember ever going to this area. I remember the museum area. Or the art exhibit area, I should say. I don't remember this fucking area. Where the hell am I? Why is there a white room over here that I can't enter? Like the fuck? That's a beaver. I guess I'll save. I just don't know what to do. I know what to do for the flag area, but I guess I went too hard. I went too far. Where am I? Oh. I see. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, so this is just another entrance to, like, this weird world. Okay, you know, that kind of makes sense. But I still have to solve puzzles to open the doors. That's the thing. I still have to solve these puzzles. So I guess I'll go back. Over here. Just come with me, Bucky Beaver. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, we can do it. Yeah, this game kind of reminds me of BT313 a bit, except I feel like this game's actually scary. BT313 is only scary if you don't know what the fuck's happening, but like, I feel like this is actually scary. So what was it? 8, 3, 9... And what, is this a 5? So it's 8. Huh. 8, 3... 8, 3 something 9. 8, 3... I'll just try that. It wasn't that. Wait, I gotta make sure. I'm pretty sure the Stumbler painting is like the answer, but I don't know. Yeah, it is 8. But I don't know what it is. Yeah, 8, 3. That looks like a 5. I don't know if it is a 5. But I think it's supposed to be a 5. Maybe it's a 3. 9. 8, 3 something 9. No. 8, 3. I'll try 3. 9. Oh, it is 3. Okay. Okay. Yippee. Oh my god, where the fuck am I?
And as more characters joined the roster,
I don't like that you're talking to me. Please stop talking to me. I don't like that you're talking to me. I don't like it when games talk to me.
Bucky and the broadside
Stop
animation
saying my name.
at
I'm Bucky Beaver.
only
Bucky.
came up with the house
Go away from me.
Studio Grounds is a theme park
It's a sketch of a rabbit. This is Blot, Rex's first creation.
always been a theme.
Rex, keep moving.
Merry-go-round at a local fair he would
What?
ride many times over in a day. The idea of Studio
Frontier
Grounds
Street
really
Museum.
came into conception
Cogware Games. I can't read that. Whatever this is. Hey, Waffle Tail, what brings you down here? Meeting your maker, I'm guessing. Nice. What? Oh, right, I guess this guy did create him, Wow, this is cute. That's not cute. It's a snippet of a cartoon. Bucky's redesign. Midway through Bucky's lifespan. A redesign was in order. Huh? It's a title card of a cartoon. Construction Destruction. This cartoon had Bucky working on a dam. This didn't go well, however. What? I like how Bucky's giving you commentary too. It's a photo of a man. This is Rex. Rex was the founder of Broadside Animation. Rest Rex, you've earned it. Ugh. It's a title card of a cartoon. Grave mistake. Rex's first cartoon to feature Bucky. In it, Bucky gets buried alive and tries escaping. I wish I could be buried too. Bucky, what the fuck? Bucky, what's wrong with you? I mean,
A man named Rex
why can't I do this?
born into a
Why can I do that?
relatively poor,
Bucky, what the fuck?
contrived to create.
Bucky, you should like try living. I don't know. Actually, maybe you shouldn't. Your life seems kind of bad. Where am I going?
Both and
Oh. I see. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
which then proceeded to
Okay, but like I said, Bucky, you should like try living or something. I don't know.
photographs of Rex's
It'll do well for you, maybe. To think positively, I guess.
short.
I want this guy to stop fucking talking though, because I hate him, but you know what? Whatever. Like, he can keep doing that shit, whatever. But like, I just wanted to stop talking.
Rex would produce more films of the
Like I said, I hate it when video games talk to me. Especially horror games, like this. I hate it so much.
Little did he know, this deal led to him
Why are you so loud? Get the fuck away from me!
quick to someone
Bro, dyslexia, he's so loud too. Okay, I gotta go back to the whatever, the mansion. I'm gonna call that the mansion, the red mansion. Yep, that's what it is, cause mansion, Luigi's mansion. I love Luigi's mansion. Bye, I'm in red. I'm red. Am I talking too fast? I like my ability to talk so fast, but like, still like talk clearly, you know? I love that I have that ability. It's called being Mexican, but it's still, it's whatever. Actually, what's over here? Thanks for the boo. Okay, not- wait, was it this door? It was this door. Where are we? The smell's atrocious. We should leave. We should save, yeah. We don't gotta walk back. You can open the menu and hit respawn. And we'll be on our merry way. Bucky, what's over here? It says the diner. It says the dam. And what's this? It says the pool. Bucky, what are we doing? Oh, this is following my movements. I don't like that. 14. 15. What the fuck? 15. 50. Oh, it's a counter. 3? Why does it say 3 there? Oh, is it a code that I have to look for? 4, 3. 4-3. Yeah, I don't know the other. I'm guessing it's a 4-digit code. Oh, 4923. Someone write that down. 4923. Someone write that down right now. 4923. Go on. 4923. I won't remember. And please listen to me. My friends are in danger. I think now's a good time to explore this dump. Hit the respawn button. Use your damn head, idiot. Okay, 4, 9, 2, 3. Yay! Hi. What brings you here? Are you lost? You should get back into place. Yep. Okay, that opened a tab on my computer, which is why I stopped like that. So I guess we have to read this now, apparently. Cogware Gates. Cogware Gates was the idea that 3 friends came out of Silicon Valley had one night. Definitely not freaky, yeah. Founded by Connor Thomas, Elizabeth Baker, and Harry Waters, we are a collective of fans in a new and thriving world of gaming. We put innovation at the forefront. With our first ever demo of the Blender cover being a hit, with crowds over at local conventions in '95. And a thriving partnership with the Broadside Animation Company leading to the creation of the magnificent Shipwrecked. We won't hold back on getting our hands dirty with game development. After all, that's where the name comes from. Every cog in a machine has to be working together to create a meaningful result. We here at Cogware are in it for the players and for moving forward. We've dabbed very heavily into 3-dimensional graphics, working with top-of-the-industry professionals to create worlds with depth, color, and life. Do you think they worked with Miyamoto? While we make games that are bright and friendly, you're not getting a squeaky clean experience if you play a game from Cogware. Instances of adult humor and some edge to our games are all present. We believe that games should not be designated to a single demographic, but rather shared among many demographics. We don't make kids games, but we also don't make adult games either. Think of us as a fine line in the middle. Let's keep innovation at the forefront. We can make some amazing things together. They're just making teenage games. Shipwrecked is a game developed by us at Cogware. Oh wait, I can click this. Oh, it's the trailer. Developed for Nintendo 64, Shipwrecked is a game that places you into the role of Bucky as you guide him, playing small minigames with his friends as a way to... I can click this. Oh. I just should have audio. Yeah, that should have definitely had audio. Okay, so that's a thing. I don't think I've ever met a man as pathetic as you. What the fuck? What did I do to you? Is there anything else? There's probably things like the code, but I don't want to look at that, so... Yeah. I don't want to accidentally show my email. I was next to dabble in the arts, just explore, and when it's over, the game has many different endings and explore as well, many different possibilities to see. First project Cogware has been brought to... Yeah, about to take full advantage. Yeah, whatever. Copyright 1999. Insane. I'm doing ARG shit, what the fuck? A new project by Cogware Games is funding from Silvertech Development Program. Officer House has an important mission. House and Loot. Oh right, this is the sequel game, right? Wait, I can't believe they added something to the website. I don't know why I can't hear audio though, but whatever. Oh my god, IGN. Oh my god, Games Review. Oh my god, EGM. Oh my god, Nintendo Power. I feel like these are all fake reviews. Blender cover. Yeah, I forgot. They're making a sequel game to this. Yeah, so there it is. The game engine used to create our game is called Unreal Engine. It's the same program used to create the shooter game by the same name, Unreal. It was licensed to us by Epic Games, but it's soon to release to the public. What's fake about everyone? I don't know. Why would they lie about that? Wait, I want to. Oh, actually, no. Never mind. Okay, I guess we're done exploring that then. That's crazy. It's a note from Cogware. Whoa there. This room is designated to staff only. Feel free to hit respawn. Connor Cogware Gaines. It's a note from Cogware. If you really want to go down there, well then feel free. But just be warned. What do you mean by that? Oh, that's a thing. So I had to like, I had to fix my Twitch chat because like the shit, but Brado, stop now. I don't want to. I'm going in. This shit will kill me, but I go in it. None of this is making any sense. I want to go back to the island. I want to go back home. Is that not why you're playing? Look, we can do this, but whatever happens, that's on you. Am I clear? Good. Thank you, Bucky Beaver. I love you. Oh good, some light. We'll need it. It says that. The label says that.
It hit her before
Bucky
she
stop being
even
sentient.
knew it was coming. It started with loud screaming, reduced over time to mere croaks. Any will to swim away slowly drained away as she sunk down further into the water.
Bro, can you stop being edgy?
Color.
Bro.
The rodent stood a few feet away, watching the effects of his actions.
Bro, stop
I don't
edgy
think he
posting,
came
actually.
to walk away when she stopped struggling.
Fake Post King over here, am I right? Oh my god, I don't like this. I feel like I'm playing Slender Man. Edge post is wild. Bro is edgy posting, I don't know why. To be fair, a lot of people in horror shit edgy post. And honestly, like, I feel like if they didn't, like, it would just be way better. I feel like they just gotta stop being edgy, you know? Like, look at all this blood, what the fuck? Why is she here? God, I know when it's gonna like... I know when it like forcibly opens like a YouTube video, I'm just gonna freak out. They're lying! What the fuck? So mysterious and edgy are like cool. Exactly. I don't like that I can do this. I don't know what I had to hide from, but I don't like that I had to do that. Follow. Look me in the eye and tell me. Stop vague posting, bro. Oh, this is gonna... Yeah, I knew it. A helping note by Stumbler and Wolf about the author. Stumbler O'Hare. Stumbler O'Hare is a rabbit and an artist at heart. Growing up, he had a massive fan of... I'm gonna pause. Is that the pause? It is a pause. Okay. Growing up, he had a massive fan of the arts in many different forms. In the process, he began to experiment with art on his own. He took up painting as his favorite form of artwork. He had painted lots of artwork as... yeah, whatever. Chief Wolf has... Okay. Fuck you, Wolf. I don't like you. Where am I? Layer 3 is where you are right now. As you know, the island is split into layers. For instance, Layer 1 is the island, outskirts, and any attached missions. Layer 2 consists of a pool, a diner, and a waterway. And now you're in Layer 3, the Land of Darkness. That's okay though, if you come properly prepared, you should be equipped to either venture even further or keep yourself safe. To open the gate to move to the next zone, locate and charge the computers to 3 and 3. Once it's open, find the gate control and turn it back on. I see. Your candle. The candle is your most important tool in layer 3. You're completely in the dark, but that's okay, because your candle will light the way. Once you pick it up, you have it for the rest of your time here. It will light the surrounding areas, keeping you aware of where you're going. Just know, however, when you leave these areas, you'll no longer have the candle. You won't lose it, it will come back to you when you visit next, but if you don't need it, you will have it. I see. Silvertech Prime computers, whatever. Computers are a very prevalent thing to come across in Layer 3. Silvertech has graciously provided us with these computers, which we have stocked all around the place, as a good way to share information with newcomers like yourself. If you're reading this, either a friend has shared you the link to this, or you found it yourself through a Silvertech Prime computer. Press the big red button on the front when you find a computer, and you will be able to learn brand new things about the Layer 3. Golden computers, however, will need to be activated with the timer. Once they are on, you will need to find each of them and turn them all on before the timer hits 0. I'll try to leave a map as to where to locate these computers. Oh, there's a map. Oh, what the fuck? Olive and Giovanni. Dwellers, also known as Starlings, are creatures who live in the darkness of Layer 3. Donning the faces of Bucky's own friends, they will wander around the dark searching for any unfortunate little beaver who happens to stumble into their path. Awakened when Walter, Giovanni, or Olive are brought down to Layer 3, they will stalk around the dark and eventually make their presence known. You cannot rely on your menu to keep you safe. Look for a barrel and interact with it to hide away. While a Dweller may follow you around in Layer 3, that doesn't mean they won't follow you elsewhere. Stay alert. You may not be as safe as you think. If a barrel or any object appears to be off or moving, repeatedly hit it until it vanishes. When captured by a Dweller, you'll be taken to a small room akin of a prison cell. Little do they know, however, your little rat. Oh, okay. 7418. Remember that. Someone type that. Beaver Scratch. I don't know. Just kidding. Beaver Scratch is a language that is used in many folks who reside down here in Layer 3. To speak in Beaver Scratch, you will want to firstly take your sense. For instance, I miss having arms. And now, once you translate it, you'll get a very simple, oh. I don't want to tramp. Just like that, we could figure it out from here. I'm an artist, not a teacher. If this sentence translated, feel free to send me a sentence to— oh my god. I can email this guy. Wait, was it 7148 or is it something else? It's 7418. Cipher guide. So these areas are a little complicated, so I want to leave a guide here that will help you translate non-Beaver Scratch codes. For the sake of making this easier to digest, I've given them fun names, so here they are. Shakespeare's Cipher. This one's a doozy. You will first need to identify what is you're trying to get. There will usually be some kind of text saying code is XX, yeah, whatever. Usually those X's would be replaced in the math. What am I doing? For instance, APFT would be our combination. Let's look for an A. It's a wonderful day today, friend. Apparently when it turns to night, the sky turns purple. Amazing, ain't it? That means A would be 4. 1, 2... okay, that's how... okay, now saying logic, let's get P. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I feel like this one will be weird. Because I'm not good with... I mean, I can read music, but still, I feel like it'll be weird. When you start again by identifying your data set, you'll usually know you got your data set because it's later entirely at the start of the alphabet. For instance, D, E, F, G. That's how you know you got a Mozart code. The D is played twice in the song. Wait, but I can't listen to music. That's the thing, because I don't know what the notes is. Oh, this is gonna suck. Picasso Cipher. It's not really good, so I'm having to say it. It's a bit of an understatement. It's my time to shine. You're currently attached to the diary, but if not, here's some photos. Yep. Yeah, I'm numbered. Okay, yeah, this one's easy. I already solved it, but yeah. They nerfed you, they did. I can read music, but like listening to it, I can't tell what notes are playing, you know, that's why. You gotta unlock them using these simple tasks. You gotta do, find the crystals. What the fuck does this shit want me to do, bro? Why is it so complicated? Bring the batteries and computer range, drop them off in the open box. Toodles, you can go now, be free. You don't know We don't know if there is a layer 4 or just how deep this all goes. For the longest time, we just assumed it only goes to layer 3. But recent research has shown some type of paradise down there. If you can find it, by all means, you have my gratitude. I'm proud of you, Bucky. Good luck with your adventures. What do I draw? Nothing to do with layer 3, but as most artists experience at one point or another, I'm dealing with burnout, the creativity killer. Well, this sucks. If you see this, why not toss me a suggestion or send it to draw at stumblehair@gmail.com. I'll gladly draw it. Update 2024 1-15. Wow, you guys gave me lots of suggestions. Thank you all. I'll be getting to them to you soon. I'm sure if I can take more requests. Oh my god, bro. You can commission this guy. Next, give us your S's. Yeah, that's basically it. I don't know why this shit's so complicated. I think there's a Beaver Scratch code thing. Hang on. Beaver Scratch decoder. Oh, there is. Okay, that's cool. I can cheat. Okay, so like, yeah, so like, I'll type this then. Q, F, T, B, and F. Resume. I didn't type Q, but yeah, it says resume. Okay. I knew someone made a thing. Okay, I'm glad I can cheat then. That's cool. I love cheating. Don't you love cheating? I love cheating. I will be caught many times down here. I know that's gonna happen. But like I said, I don't know why this shit's so complicated. Live, laugh, love? Okay, buddy. Just kill me now. What'd that say? Protect Prime. I didn't log in information. Is this... What? Is this in... Where you were... Yeah, whatever. I don't know what that did. That did something. I don't know what it did though. 1 out of 3. Oh, and that's where I had to drop the battery. Oh, this is where I stopped. I stopped here because I was like, oh my god, this shit's so scary. I can't play anymore. Oh, green means good, so you must be... Yeah, it must be safe. Surely I'd say, what is this? I don't know the code. Oh wait, is this the 7413? No. Oh wait, no, it was 7... It was 74... No, it's, yeah, 7418. Okay, no. It's the clown, it is me, hello. I don't know the password then. I don't know if there's anywhere that tells you the password. How you doing? I'm doing good, 7148. I don't think... No, because 7418, right? You got it wrong. Yeah, it's 7418, but it's still not the right password. I don't want to go deeper. Was there a number here? Login, username, password. No. Yeah, there's no numbers. Huh. What does this even do then? Is it 8005? I wish. I wish it was that shit. Wait, is it? No, I don't think it's the music cipher that I was talking about. I'm trying to look at the computers to see if there's like anything, but I don't think there is. Gate control. I think I might just have to find it later. What's the time? I don't think it's that either. The time. I was kind of thinking it, but like... I mean, the game never told you to look at the clock for anything, so that's why. I don't think it's this. Yeah, and also it's pointing at 11, so it can't be that anyway. What is it? Yeah, it's pointing at, like, yeah. It can't be this anyway. Adventure I don't want to go deeper. Should I go deeper? Do I have to? Do I have to go in this room? I don't want to go in that room. I heard someone speak to me in that room, and I don't want to go in that room. I can't do zeros. We have to go. Look. Can you hear it? Can you hear him speaking to me? I don't want to go. Oh, that's a beaver scratch. What does it say? MGM FSXP FJHGS EMF 9281. Okay, thank you for the code. Oh. Oh. Okay, so he can't get me right now. That's cool. But I don't like the noises they make. Okay, at least I know what I'm looking out for, though. Like the sounds. Okay, so it's 9 2 8. Oh wait, what the fuck? 9 2 8 1. Yippee! Brother Sati, you dead? Probably. You know, I would be salty if I was dead too. The label says... I don't know what that says. Hang on, I gotta translate this. Oh, I'm gonna have to translate everything from now on, huh? Oh, that's gonna suck. NBS JEMT. Is that an I or one? Affirmations 1. You know. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna sound like a madman recording one of these things. You know, I just kind of need to feel like I'm talking to someone, even if I'm not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. Where to start?
I don't know where to start.
This week hasn't been the greatest.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's say that lightly. No, this week has been horrible.
You know what? That makes sense.
Everything feels like
Yeah.
it's just...
Yeah, you were playing this game,
going
yeah.
off the deep end, and I'm just starting to wonder how much I got left.
Hey, you know what? That makes sense.
Harley's still in the hospital.
Who?
And until she's out, I'm sitting in this office. It's big, it's cozy.
Yeah?
Yet it feels so empty.
You rich people problems, am I right?
Under this room in days, aside from, myself. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Just
yeah, just rich
remember
people problems, I guess. I don't fucking know.
And you'll be fine.
Wow, I'll be fine. Yeah, I'll be fine once I go down here. Yeah, I'm gonna be so fine, bro. Hang on, I'm looking at something. I'm gonna be so fine, bro. Holy fuck. I'm gonna be the finest ever. You just finished eating and you're feeling so sleepy. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Where do I go now, then? I just go back? I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. This is back to the beginning, right? But to the lines on the ground, they're telling you where to go. But, like, that was, like, where you originally had to go. I already went there, that's why I'm, like, confused where I go now. Cause this is also back where I've been. So I don't know where I go. I think I do have to go back. I think that's what it wants me to do, is like, go back, and then I had to deal with the starlings. And trying to do like the computer shit. But also I never went here, so I kinda wanna see what these are. I should have done this first, cause I actually, yeah, I didn't see what these were. Wait. I love testing shit. Wait, so what do I do? What do I do? I feel like I should have found a code. Cause there was a code there. But how do you even get there? Yeah, cause like... it just blocked off. It just blocked off. Maybe these are meant for later, then. Maybe these are actually meant for later. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And then I came from there, so I guess I can go in this one then. I don't like this. What? Oh, I can't do this. Oh, these are just meant for later then. Okay. Fuck, bro, I don't want to go back down there. Oh my god, that's gonna suck. I hate the darkness. The darkness, it scares me. And I don't want to go back to the darkness. That shit suck. Yeah, see, I'm in the darkness. This shit suck. I don't want to be here. Especially when I'm hearing like all the glitchy fucking sounds that they make. And like how they move and shit. Yeah, I don't want to deal with it. I'm going to be honest, I thought it would open this. But it didn't. So now I'm just like, what the fuck do I do? Cause I don't know what I do. Yeah, I came from here, okay. Oh. I didn't go over here. And I don't think I want to be here anyway. I'm here. Help me, I'm scared. I don't want to be over. I need to find a code. Oh my god, do I need to find a code and come back and... Oh my fucking god. The label says I had to translate this. Yep, that's what it said. CFUKPHQBMCPN. devlog random.
Alright. Today is August 12th, 1996.
Yep.
I've been given the go-ahead to get back to work on the project.
Yeah, okay.
It's
Yeah, project, yeah.
been rocky, but
Yeah, project.
we're all getting
Yeah.
back into it.
That bitch is dead, yeah.
Harry's been at his workstation all day.
I don't know who the fuck
through-
Harry is.
Well, he's been stuck on Olive's level. The coconut one. Apparently, there's been an issue with the chests spawning in. They just appear at random, which is already bad.
Okay.
But then they soon vanish when you get too close. I'm really
That's weird.
just not sure. It's very
Yeah, you should fix that.
confusing. I'll figure it out soon, though.
I should figure it out, but
I'm sure.
that sounds weird.
And Liz has been busy as always. She's trying to catch up on the game's artwork. We finally got a finalized design for the wolf guy, mostly changing his proportions, so we can share his animations with other characters if we need to. But yeah, she's killing it, as usual. And
Yeah, she's
on
killing
my
it.
end, not too much. I'm just chipping
Why'd you
away
say it
on
like
the
that?
little debug map right now. Calling it just the plaza for now.
Can I go
until
in
we can
here?
think of a cooler name for it.
Let me
But,
in.
yeah.
I don't
That's
want to
where
go
we're
over
at
there.
Right now, I'm gonna keep recording these. They're very fun for sure. Alright, see ya.
Fuck you. Stop yelling at me. Okay, so do I want this screen? Like, I don't know what it does. And do I want to go down there? I don't like it when things chase me. That's what sucks. Code is EFG9. It's a fucking music puzzle. It's a fucking music puzzle. I don't know. I told you I don't know the notes. I know the song, but I don't know the notes. I'm gonna have to look at the notes. EFG9. Okay, so what did it say to do then? Hang on, I'm looking here. I'm looking here so y'all see it too. Cipher guide. I still remember from piano class. I know if I was playing into the music instead of playing a rhythm game and lurking. For entering your data set, you'll usually learn A is not as similar, but you have to count the notes. So if D is played twice in the song, D is 2. Okay, so it said... Okay, so then it just gave us the last part of the code, which is 9. And it's joy to the world. Oh, no, it's not joy to the world. What am I saying? It's ode to joy. That's what it is. I don't know why I said joy to the world. The song is ode to joy. You guys know the song from Evangelion? Yeah, that song. This one. Look, this one. You got 2 words, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's the song. And it says it's EFG9. Okay, so it just gave us the last part of the code, so we have to count the E's, the F's, and the G's. That's what we have to do. But like I said, I don't know music, so I can't do it. Just look up Ode to Joy and then look that shit up. Yeah, no, just look that shit up. That's what you got it. Why does this look like Minecraft? Just look that shit up. That's all you gotta do. Look up Ode to Joy, look up how many E's and S's and G's there are. And yeah, and then count them, and then give them to me. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, do that. You can do that, right? Cause I can't do that. Maybe I can do that, but I can't do that. Wait, Leru. Are you here? Do you know music? Can you discern music just by listening to it? Like, can you tell an F is an F? And stuff like that? Yeah, I don't know who can do that. Cause it's ode to joy. Should I just look it up? You can't? What the fuck? I'm just gonna look it up then. Because this is something I actually can't do. Okay, 9 E notes, 4 F notes, 4 G notes. Okay. I think anyway. Oh wait, is that the notes? I looked it up anyway. Cause like I said, this is something I literally can't do. It's crazy that they make you do this. Because I literally can't do that. So what did it say? It's probably not for this one, it's probably for the one down there, but I still have to check. 9 4 4 9. Yeah, it is for the one down there. Okay. No, that sucks. But the code's 9449. What? What? No, why did I mess up this jump again? You know, I know the code, I'm gonna mess up the jump. I told you. Okay, 9 4 4 9. Chat, do I have to? Do I have to go down there? Do I have to do this? I don't want to. I really don't want to. I mean, what's over here? Oh, it's nothing. Oh, it's something. 8 control. Oh. This is where the timer comes in. Oh, and I had to deal with the bucket shit. I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't even know what these buttons are doing. I'm going to be completely honest. They're just kind of... Yeah, I don't know what these buttons are doing. Yeah, that's 2 out of 3 buttons. Apparently. So then where do I go? Oh wait, because then I had to go and I had to get the batteries, right? So I just have to go to a completely different area, I think. And, you know, get the batteries and shit, which is insane that I have to do this. Oh yeah, that is definitely what I have to do, huh? I thought I would just have to, like... I don't know, do it in this area, just not... Oh my god. That's crazy. Because I'm guessing I just go across here now and then... No, it's still locked. Okay, so I do have to do it in this area. Wait, what the fuck do I do then? I feel like I did everything I could. Oh. That opened a video. That opened a video. Why is it a short, bruh? Why is it a short, bruh? Who the fuck is that? Gary Wilson. Oh, I have to edit this shit, don't I? Right, I remember. It's a short because there's gonna be one on the right side and one on the left side, and you have to edit them together. And then it reveals something crazy that I forgot what it was. Why is this short, bruh? Why are they causes of death? I think that's what it says. Why are they making short form content in my fucking Shipwreck 64, bruh? They don't have to do this. I want to go to their YouTube channel, but I'm guessing because this video is unlisted, all the videos are gonna be unlisted. And I'm obviously not going to the fucking comment section because I know they're gonna spoil it. Yeah, who the fuck is that, bruh? Olivia Finch was found at the bottom of the lake right outside the cabins at Broadside Beach's staff quarters and located. She appeared to be waterlogged. It looked to be something out of a horror movie. Said, yeah, her cabin mate, there is a trail of blood and she's dead. Bye. Okay, yeah, I got that one. I got that one. Okay,
Here you
what?
go. Have a head pat.
Thanks for the head fat hi, Cash. What? Why would you put on the right side? I can't read it now. What is wrong with you? Oh, and yep, now you're putting on the left side. Oh my god, what's wrong with you? I can't read it now. Lincoln has in part manufactured the beaches is giant full of veins, dirt, and seem to possess strange, yeah. With some kind of living to cause the subjects from the rats, the effect on that of a rat began to be, yeah, whatever. I can't read this. Victims emerged. It blanked before it became. It became. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Hello. Darkness. Thank you, Luigi. Why is this in my I never... Whatever. Oh no, there is shit. Say a song about when life was better. Should I watch that? Bucky animation test mount. Okay, so not all of them are unlisted. But most of them are unlisted though, I'm guessing. Okay. I guess that makes sense. I kinda wanna watch a silly song about when life was better. And I wanna go to the comments. I just wanna see. The part when he went, yeah, bro, see? This is what it's about. Song gonna go hard on the 100 Gex album. That's why we don't pass Giovanni yet. Yeah, see, this is why you always go to the comment section on the horror video. This is why I always do it. And I've been real quiet since Mega Drop. Bro, this is a banger, actually. What are they talking about? This is a banger. Bro, can you listen to this banger? Fuck you. Okay, you know, I'm glad I found that, at least. I thought that would be the code. Or something. Something to get a button, you know? But... So then how do I get this code? There has to be a cipher I'm missing. But I don't know what it is. Ow. I almost fucked that up. Fucked up that jump. I guess if I go over here, but no, there's nothing, right? Yeah, 'cause it's just that button. Oh. Oh. That's cool. I'm glad that's there. I love air chords being there, yep. I love that shit. Okay, so then is there something behind this? No. Okay, but I'm missing a cipher then. But I don't know where. I'm just kind of looking behind all these TVs because I feel like that's where it is, but... I'm missing a button. Obviously. And that means I'm missing a code somewhere. But I don't know where that code could be. Like, do you guys have an idea or no? Because I don't have an idea as to where this code could be. Maybe I missed something in, like, the first room. Actually, no, because that shit was also linear, right? I don't know. Should I go back? I don't know. I don't know what I should do. I don't know what this code is. It's gonna be something fucking stupid, I know. That's why I'm just like, what the fuck? Where I go? This game scare me. It's making me not want to continue forward. I'll just go. I'll just go to this place. I'll see. I'll see what it is. But I don't want to. I really don't want to be here. I hate this area. I don't know why this area just fucks me up. Oh. Okay, that makes sense. Wait, does that mean I can go here now? No, that's still locked. Okay, so I do have to do this. Fucking hell, bruh. Fucking hell. Help me. Can someone hold my hand? I would like... I think I would like it more if someone could hold my hand. Hi, Vlad, how's it going? Wait, that's still not it? What? What am I doing wrong? I pressed the button. I thought that was it. Okay, maybe I have to go further. Further beyond. Further, yeah, I have to go further, okay. Grr. I'm dead. I'm dead. How you doing, though? I'm suffering. Because this game scares me. And I don't like that it scares me. You're chilling? I'm not chilling. Wait, how are you with scary things? I'm curious, because I don't think I've ever seen you, like, talk about horror at all. Oh, it is for that area. Wait, but I did this already. So why do I have to do it again? Is it because I left? Oh, that's probably it. You're a scaredy cat? Oh. I'm gonna watch this game then. You wanna do more horror? This game, like, actually scares me, like I said. Okay, I had to translate this. You will see me do a live translation. Right here. I can't see. What it wants me to translate? Never mind. Okay, you're gonna see me do a live translation right here. I think it's FG, HGS, PMF. Oh wait, no, I had to do everything. MJMF, SXP, FJ, HGS, PMF. 9281. Okay. I see, 9281, 9281, 9281. That's what it is, 9281. I will remember this. I will not remember this. Nine, 2, 8, 1. Hell yeah. I already did that, so I'm going down here. I'm safe. Look at me. Look at how safe I am. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. I hate that it does that. Like, that sound specifically is what fucks me up. Wait, what? I can't go back. Wait, what? Okay, so then what do I do then? That's where I had to go. Oh my god, bruh. Maybe I'm just stupid. Okay, what if I go back then? Oh wait, no, I just go here, right? Please no. I don't want to deal with any of this. I unfortunately have to deal with all of this. What did you do? What'd you do? What'd you do? Whoa! I got a map! Yay! Oh, this actually just tells me where the fuck I have to go. I don't want to watch this video. I don't know if pausing like actually does anything. But it said it didn't. Castaway 1. Sky Sin Room Cell Storage. Okay, yeah. I understand. I don't understand, but I understand. Gallery. Why do you have to present it like this, you know? You don't have to present it this way. You don't have to do this. You could have done it normally. You could have been normal. I don't know why you're like this. They could have actually just been normal. Like, they chose not to, you know? They chose not to be normal. Like, how's this my fault, bro? It's not. It's not my fault. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Stumbler. I hate you. I should have probably kept that video on, but whatever. Yeah, it's the fucking sounds they make I hate. They're right there. They're right there. They're right there. They're right. I don't know where they are, but they're right there. They're literally right there. And you know what sucks? Why? Because I'm trapped here. Oh. That's where they are. Hello. I don't think you see me. Can you grab me? No, you can't. Okay, good. Yeah, get out, bitch. You can't do shit. You can't do shit, bro. I'm being too cocky. I shouldn't be too cocky. I'm sorry. They're gonna grab me and I'm gonna die and like it's gonna suck, but like whatever. It's fine. It's not fine actually. I'm gonna die. They will kill me. In one way or another. I didn't mean to do that, but whatever. They will kill me in one way or another. Thanks for the boo. Are they gone? Like, I don't know if they like sprint towards me really fast is this thing, so I don't know if I could just like, you know, run in front of them and then just like, you know, hide in a barrel. I don't know if I can do that. But to be fair, I also don't know where all the barrels fucking are. That's also what sucks. Okay, that's a barrel. It's a note from Cogware 2. It gets much worse though. On that drive, photos of bodies, 4 in total. Very heavy blacks and whites. This wasn't the original image, it was a copy. Oh, that's cool. I need another code. I need another fucking code. There's one over there. Code is DECD. Oh, and I had to listen to music again. Fucking hell, bro. I don't want to listen to music. I don't like music. You know, music sucks. Fuck you. I hate music, actually. Stop making me listen to music. Like I said, I don't know if I can just camp a barrel, you know? A note from Cogware 12. The fact these images are photocopied, to me at least, means that people shared images of dead people. Oh, and you wanna know what else? I do wanna know what else, what? It's a note from Cogware 13. There is footage of the murders. The label says workstation code. Guess
Hello,
what?
future stumbler.
What?
It's me, past stumbler.
Yeah? But guess
I got
what?
the code. Going forward, if you ever need to turn on the workstations, the code is 1997.
1997?
Went wrong. Alright, that's all. Toodles! You look great today, by the way.
I can remember that. 1997, I can remember that. Why can't I turn this on? So 1997. Jingle. Oh wait, it's you. Wait, why is your account saying nobody then? It's a note from Cogware 10. Fiction, it's all rooted in fiction. It's a miraculous recovery that boy had. Near-death experience, yet he's back in the park. It was a cover story. Cause you're a ghost. I see. That makes sense, I guess. Not really, but that makes sense, I guess. I have to put this code in somewhere, but I don't know where. Here, finger to my mind. That makes sense, too. No, you did kind of just show up. And, like, disappear, you know? So that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Okay, anyway, where the fuck do I go? Okay, now I'm back here. Oh. You know, I prefer to just, like, map this shit out with my brain and not use this thing. It's enough from Cogware 14. I want more than anything to say what I found. Yeah, I can't. It'd ruin us. These guys are only paying clients in ears. Fucking hate this. I'm gonna try 1997. No, why is it there? Why is it there? Wait, is that a starling? It is a starling. No, this is definitely a starling. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere. It's to the left of me, apparently. Bro, why did they do that? Why does it do that? Oh my god, I hate that so much. At least it's easy to tell when they're near. Because it does that weird shit, you know? Okay, well what song is this for? DECD? Yeah, what song is that for? Okay, where even is the starling? Like, it's close to me, but I don't know where it is. Okay, you're on my left again. Get the fuck out. Get away from there. Go away. Thank you. Okay, bro disappeared. Get away from my border. That's my border. It's so... I don't know. It's a 4x3 game. Yeah, that's what it's for. What is DC data? I don't know what it means. No. Why are y'all here? This is why I hate this, because they're all just here, like, they're always gonna stalk me, it just sucks. And like, there's like, no music except for these guys, so it sucks even more, actually. And I don't even know where he is. Like, what does it mean by DECD? I don't know the music, I'm so confused. Whenever I hear one, I will just hide in the barrel the entire time. I don't care. I am a pussy. When it comes to this game specifically. How do I get in there? It at least looks safe in there. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but... yeah. Now! Oh. Wait. That's so cringe. Why would you do that? Okay, but I know what this is for now then. Singing crystals. Those that's for notes especially are nice. Oh, this is another puzzle. I had to say this. This is for something else. You know what? What if I go down to the comment section? Maybe they'll lie. Maybe they'll cheat for me. Hi, Cplay, how's it going? We're not getting out of fights with this one. Oh my god. We're looking up a guide with this one. Bro. Mozart cipher and Picasso cipher at the same time. Okay. So what is it? 11 seconds. Start at 11. What does that even mean? I don't know what this is for. So good for my post-stream nap, but I'm feeling sleepy. I think everyone's sleepy right now. I was beaten with the chair. Getting it on my nursery rhymes. I regret clicking this button. Oh. It would be funny if, I give a try to solve the DC. I don't need the whole video. Oh, it's the last 11 seconds for the DECD video. Yeah, the last 4. Okay. Prince Anime, can you do this then for me? Since you can read music. It's DECD. So it's da 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 do 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 or something like that, you know? Yeah. I'll start it at 11 again. Yeah, that, whatever. Can you do that for me? Or whoever did it last time, I don't know, was it? It was you, yeah. People who are afraid of stardust is, they completely stop the stardust from spawning by explicitly avoiding the recording. Really? Oh my god. You'll need to bait out Olivia's Starling and wait in the barrel until you start seeing ghosts in your sidebars. Go back to the menu and continue. Undo that mistake. You're not safe to proceed. And this part. Okay. That's cool. I didn't know I could just glitch the game like that, but that's cool. But yeah. I think I have to look up this one again because it's a music puzzle. Which sucks. I'm so glad I'm in this barrel. I'm so glad I'm in this barrel. I'm so glad I'm in this barrel. Oh. It's 5525. Okay. Thank you. You know, that helps me more than anything. Where are they, though? I don't know where they are. I'm so fucking scared. I'm in here. I will always hide. I will always hide. I can't do anything else but hide. Okay, but yeah, I can't do music puzzles. I'm sorry. I hate that I can't do them. Just because I don't know the fucking music. To be fair, I don't think most people can do them. Because again, they don't know the fucking music, so it's like, whatever. Are they gonna fucking despawn? Like, where are they? Ah, there's a ghost on my right screen. What the fuck? Go away. Get away from there. Hello, Shipwrecked. Hello. It's so relatable too. What do you mean by that? But hello, Dreams Rat. I don't know what to do. There's like a thing over there. It's not despawning, and like I don't want to leave the barrel, so I don't know what to do. I'm just kind of here. It means what it means. There's a ghost on somewhere. Oh well, there it is. Bro, what do I do about this? Oh, there it is. Did bro get stuck in a wall? Like, what the fuck happened? Why was he, like, not doing anything for, like, so long? Can bro get out? Can bro leave me alone? I want bro to leave me alone. I'm just trying to, like, do this code. It's 5525, I think. I just try to do this code, you know? Like, I can't do it. I kinda wanna go over there and see what happens. I just gave my memory. If you need any help, hit me up. Okay, you know what? I will need help. What's the DECD puzzle up there? I don't understand it. Cause I clicked that, and everyone's saying like skip to 11 seconds, skip to 11 seconds, but I still don't know what that means. Cause I skip to 11 seconds, I was like, okay, what the fuck does this mean? Cause it's also the color puzzle, right? That I did, so it's just like, I don't know. Did you complete all the puzzles at the start? I think so. I think I did do that. I think that is something I did. Like, did you complete the arc, Ellie? Yeah, I did do that. I remember that red was 8. That's all I remember. Oh yeah, and green is 9. And that's all I remember. Go see the puzzle so I can see what it is. And then 1 was 3. That's all I remember. That's all I remember. It's a note from Cogware, 4 folders dedicated to old cartoons. But not just that, cover-ups too. Every step of the mask was justified. Their goodwill was rooted in fiction. Can I go see the puzzle? This puzzle? This one, code is DECD. That one? Because I don't understand it. And then, yeah, it's called 11 seconds. And then this, I have this. Oh wait, I should, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go back here. Yeah, it's 9383. Oh yeah, it's 9, yeah, whatever. That's what it is. And then this, it just said, like, start at 11 seconds. For some reason. And I don't understand. I don't understand it. I can't do the music puzzles, that's why. So I literally don't know what notes are playing. Mixed with counting notes and colors. Okay, so 1, 2, 1. I can't do that. It's too fast for me. I can't do that. So it's red. Red. Okay, so that's 5. That's 5. This one is 5. There's this fucking thing. I hate you. This is also 5, what? Unless I counted it wrong. Hang on, I have to go again, so I can pay attention. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 5, okay. Sorry, let me do it, like, out loud. Okay, that's 1, 2. So is it just 5, 2, 5, 5? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that's 2 5s and then this one's 2. Is it just that? No. Okay, I don't know what it is in. Close, what is it? Is it 2 5 5 5? Okay, nope. I just did that one. 5 2 5. Okay. You know, if you just brute force it, it works. And I'll work. What? Where do I go then? Oh my god. That scared me. Where do I go then? Oh, that's why it scared me. I didn't know that's what happened when you saw me. I was wondering what happened. You should go back to that room again. What room? What room? Oh, do I have to activate all that shit? Oh, that was 19... Oh wait, no, it's 1997, right? Yeah, okay. Maybe a pussy this entire time. That's why. That's why I'm gonna be a pussy this entire time. Oh, you spawned right on top of me. That's crazy. That is insane that you spawned right on top of me, bro. Can I go back down? No, okay. You know, that's kind of cool. How you just block me like this. Bro, I still can't go down. I have to do all this in 10 minutes? Bro, how do you do it? When these assholes are just like blocking you the entire time. That's crazy. Like, they're always active now, right? It's tricky, but you cannot random except Olivia. Okay. But I don't know which one's, like, which. I mean, I know which one's which, I just don't know, like, you know. Which one's after me. That moment, I guess. Yellow is 4. Where's that? Oh, my faster Olivia gets faster the longer you don't hide. I see. Yeah, it only has like 4 minutes left. That's or 6 minutes left. That's insane. I'm so glad I turned down my volume, bro. With all these jump scares, I'm so glad I turned down my volume. The fuck? What? How many TVs are there? It's been quite long, it has been. I watch your VODs on my work. You do? Oh my god. Wait, but how many TVs are there? 20? Oh my, I'm not doing this. You know what? This might be where I give up. I got farther than last time I played this, but this might be where I give up. So that's how I played this. I only got to like... I tell you it's easier than you think. Is it? Because all those guys are after me. And I'm scared. I'm a pussy. I'm gonna be real with you. I am a pussy. See, that guy is coming up here. He knows. I hate him. Get him away from me. Why can't I just have a gun? Why can't I just shoot them? You know, this is America. I should just be able to shoot them. They are threatening me. Yeah. Start from the basement, then try to rush to the middle floor. I don't think I can do that either. Why can they jump off like that? That's scary. Fuck you, Squeaks the Core Gay. I hate you. That's why I'm gay in your name. I hate you. Why would you make this? Why'd you make something like this? Every single time they've done the jump scare thing, I have gotten jump scared too, by the way. The first time was the worst, but after that, it's been good. I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know if that tells me anything when they're like, when they appear on my thing, on the border. I don't know if that means anything. That's Olivia's ability. Oh, what does it mean? Does it mean she just knows where I am, or...? Because they can't take me out of the barrels, I'm guessing. But I still don't know why she does that. Oh, there's a thing over there. I see it in the distance, and I don't like it. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait here until the timer stops. You hear the noise, you gotta hide as she... You can see you not hiding while she peeks, she will spawn. I see. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, Brandon is jumping and running. Okay, then what does the walrus do? He just seems useless. Okay, so what you're saying is I'm gonna get unlucky when Olivia's like checking for me, and then she'll just like come up here and kill me. That's what you're saying. Breaks your hiding if he sees your spot. Oh. Okay, so we can break your hiding spot. That's why there's so many barrels. Okay, you know, that makes sense actually. But yeah, I'm just gonna wait for the timer to run out. The only one you gotta worry is Olivia. You cannot win Robinson Birdie as fast. I see, okay, yeah. I will try to do it then. On my second attempt. I could've gotten so many TVs by now actually, but whatever, it's fine. I'm a pussy. I told you I know. Should I go to the bathroom while I'm hiding here, actually? I feel like I should. Cause I do need to pee. Bro, get the fuck out my screen. It's a bit scary, but it's easier when you stop praying now. VTuber pee is yummy. I need to pee. I need to go to the bathroom. I also kind of want to play an ad, so like you don't get ads for an hour. So I think this is a good time to pee, cause if not, then you're gonna get an ad in 10 minutes, and it'll like, yeah, you know, yeah. Go piss. Okay, I'm so fucking scared right now. Get the fuck away from me. Why is it opening this? I just wanna. Okay, whatever. You're gonna stare at this. I can't do anything about it. Yeah. BRB. Just stare at that, I guess. Oh wait, I can show you something new, wait. Hello. I am back. I think. I have pissed. I will still drink water though. I'm drinking water. I drink water. I will go here now. Hello. I don't know. Did the timer run out? I don't know if the timer ran out. It did, right? Because the music's not playing anymore? Wow, the timer ran out when I went to pee. That's crazy. Okay, so I gotta go back in that room, right? I gotta activate that shit. And I gotta, yeah. Welcome back, hello, yeah, I gotta, yeah. I'm scared. I think the worst part is that they jump scare you whenever they see you. I think that's the worst part. I think that's actually like the worst part. There's no barrel, 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 there's no barrel. I'm going back, there's no barrel. There's no barrel. I'm going back. I wanted to go in that room with like the thing that I didn't get, but I don't know where it is. I don't remember where it is. Fuck. I heard one. Unless that was a TV. I just heard static, that's why. I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's a TV or like... it, you know? Okay, well that's good timing. That I'm here. Oh, that's the warning for your ability and then... Okay, I understand. That's just telling you to go to a barrel. But then she like does her weird freaky border shit, right? After a bit. Is that it? Is that how you tell? I feel like I'm talking out my ass here. Okay, what is... Or is that just the spawning sound? Cause yep, there's a bitch down there. There is a bitch down there and I don't like it. I feel like this is the first time I've ever played like a pussy in a horror game. And we have video evidence to prove this too. Like, you see how I am in Resident Evil and shit, I'm always like just guns blazing, trying to kill everything. And then you're seeing me playing this and I'm just like, what the fuck? Why are you in my right border, bro? Get the fuck out, I'm telling you. You're lucky you have tits. And you're hot. Yeah, that's it. That's all you got going for you. Okay, but you're scary too. There's an area with like a video recorder. I don't remember where it is. This area fucking sucks. I don't remember if it was like over there or what. Okay, no, it couldn't have been. I don't like that static. And something spawned. See, that's why. That's why I was afraid of them. Okay, there's a thing over here in this corner. There's a thing... I think there's a TV... Fuck, I don't remember where it is. I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything. What do I do? I get alt tab again. Okay, why didn't it open shit there? What the fuck? What's wrong with me? Fuck you. Get away from me. Bro, can you stop spawning? Oh, and you spawned right next to me. Of course. Well, at least we can see you. But I don't know. Like, the designs, they're not scary, it's just like... Just like when they jump scare you, I don't like that. Like when they see you. Cause believe me, they're gonna see me a lot. I'm shit at stealth games. And that's why I'm just like, that's why I don't want to. That's why I'm just like kind of afraid to just go. Cause I know they're gonna see me. They're gonna see me at least like 10 times, and I'm gonna get jump scared every single time, and I'm not gonna like it. Stop! Why do you keep spawning? Dreams Rat, are you still here? Because where do I go? Just give me like the rundown, you know? That's what I need. Because I don't know where to go. And they keep spawning and it's scaring me. See, they keep spawning. I don't like it. Someone's in my left ear. Look at it. Yeah, get away. Go away. Get away from there. Thank you. He has to get out of my borders. I don't know why she likes being in my borders, but she has to leave my borders. I feel like I can't do this today. I have to go over there, right? I feel like I got jump scared too many times. Okay, but there is just one here. That sucks. Bro, they're spawning so much. Oh, it's right there. Look what that is. Is that the bird? That's the fucking bird, isn't it? Get that shit out of my face. Dreams Rat, please help. I don't know where I am. I'm so fucking scared right now. Okay. What if I just play Mario Kart for the last hour? Or I'm not a pussy. That would also help. There's a TV there, okay. Okay, this is the beginning. Cause where's the basement again? It's like over here, right? Cause I think that's where I had to go. I think the basement's like over there. Wait, but I don't know how to get that TV. Yeah, there's some TVs I just straight up don't know how to get. And it would distress with like all the other shit. Oh my god, that's gonna suck. That's gonna suck so much. I think I should map out a route before I activate the TV. But like, how do I... Can I even open that? Like that gate? Can I even get that? Cause like, have a map is the thing. But I feel like... Where's the map? I mean, I can go to my history, whatever. Yeah, here we go. But I feel like... Okay, yeah. Okay, so then which one's the... Is this the basement then? Because if this is correct, then I'm here. And the basement is right in front of me, and I don't think that's correct. Unless this isn't the basement. I don't know what this is trying to tell me. It doesn't really do layers very well. Okay, because like... Yeah, there's that there. So that means I'm here. Wait, but then... That shit in front of me doesn't exist then. Guess I'm reading it wrong. And like, that's actually the edge right there. No, that is the edge of the world. Okay, so this room is smaller than I thought it was. Hello, hello. Okay, so then... So then, is the basement here? No, because... Yeah, that goes up, and then you go in there. So then where the fuck is the basement? I don't know. Get away from my corner. Go away. Yeah, that effect is cool, but she's annoying. I hate her. I need her to go away. I will try to do this, but It'll probably take an hour for me to do this. I'm going to be honest. Okay, so then that's not the basement. That just goes up. Oh, but that's how you go over there. You go... Okay. That makes sense. Like I said, this shit does not do layers very well. I feel like I'm being lied to by this map. But I also feel like I can't, like, put it away. I don't know. Because, like, the shit that it does show is very helpful. I will be honest. I just wish it showed the TVs. Because it doesn't show the TVs. It just shows, like, this shit. Yeah, it just shows, like, the shit that you... I don't know. I wish it showed the TVs. Because that would be very helpful if it did. Oh my god, bro, get away! She's in my right. She's on the right. Get her away. I don't want her here. Get her away. So then what the fuck do I do? Because I don't know where the TVs are. And they keep fucking spawning. So it's like, what the fuck do I do? Yeah, they keep spawning like right next to me. So it's like, what the fuck do I do? I just feel like I can't leave. Cause they keep doing this shit to me. Okay, so that's the crystal room then, right? I don't know. I think that's where I had to go. That's where the giant TV is. But I don't know where the basement is. That's like that's the shitty part. I don't know where the basement is. I feel like I should give up. I don't think it's worth getting jump scared over. You know? Yeah. I don't know. I'm just kind of hiding in this barrel. Hoping that I don't die. And I'm hoping there's other barrels, but that's why I don't want to go forward, because I don't know if there's other barrels. I only feel safe when I'm with a barrel. You know? So I don't know where to go. Oh, is that the basement? Oh, that is the basement. Okay. So that's why I couldn't remember where the basement was, because it was right there. So then... So there's a lot of TVs in the basement, I'm guessing. Some shit there. There's a TV right there. There's a Starling right there. I'm trying to map this out in my head, but like, I feel like there's too much to remember. I'm so glad I didn't go down. I was gonna go down to see what the fuck that area was right there. And that Starling was right there apparently. I'm so glad I didn't do that. I might have to continue this later. Cause yeah, there's that. I feel like I can't remember anything. I feel like the jump scares like kind of got to me. That first jump scare, I was not expecting it, and then when it got to me, I was like, holy fuck, bro. What happened to me? I do want to go down there though. They're not letting me. They're not letting me. Where even is it? It spawned, but I don't know where it spawned. Okay, I hear it now. Kind of. I just hate how the big area too has like no barrels. It's fucking me up. That shit will get to me. I'm telling you. This shit will get to me. It's getting to me. You know how like, I always see VTubers like play horror games who are like really scared by the horror game and I don't understand it. I'm not saying my position changed, I still don't understand it. But like, usually I also see them play like, like how I'm playing it right now. So that's how I know I'm just like, I don't want to be here, Okay, that is where I go. Oh, and there's a TV right there that I missed. Okay, that makes sense. And there's whatever the fuck this is. And there's a starling right there. Again! Like, why? Why are they right there? Everywhere I want to go, they're right there. So it's just like, whatever. I gotta deal with it, I guess. Funny enough. The label says that.
I decided that for a good chunk of the core players to get into the game, I wanted to add a bit of my own flair. So I migrated the files from our convention demo into the game. When people find it, it'll be like they're seeing our history.
Bro, I can barely hear you because of this fucking starling right here, which is so fucking rude, by the way. They're actually so fucking rude, by the way. Okay, thank you. Yeah, they're so fucking rude, by the way. I tried listening to you, but like, this starling is like right here. I can't do anything about it. Like I said, I wish I had a gun. I wish I had a shotgun specifically. I would just like pump that shit, and they would die. Yeah, that's what would happen. I would pump that shotgun, and they would die. I wish I had a gun. Okay, can I listen to you again? I'm getting raided. Hi, Quat, how's it going? Hi, hello, how you doing? My name is Celeste. I'm a Bat Clown VTuber. I mainly play Nintendo and horror games. You wouldn't be able to tell with how I'm playing this game right now, but I do play a lot of horror games. This shit's scaring me, bruh. But, just one right there, are you serious? But hello! How you doing? What are you playing? I kinda wanna peek the corner. Like, I just wanna go and peek the corner. No, it's right next to me, never mind. I can't. Yeah, I can't do that. It's a horror game emulating the style of N64 horror games? Yeah. It is. Except, okay, it's actually much more than that. It's more like an ARG. And that's just because there are computers in this game which literally open web tabs, which give you access to unlisted videos and, like, websites like this. And you do have to solve all these ciphers and stuff. And yeah, it also has its own language. And I'm getting ready to get... Okay, bro, it's gone. Hi, Splats, how's it going? I don't think I can shout you out right now. I think this thing's on cooldown because I just got raided. But hello, how's it going? How you doing? I'm being a pussy right now. This game kills me. It's a note from Cogbear1. I was at the offices last night. I had brought a drive with me. It contained our presentation for Broadside. I didn't grab that drive on the way out. But hello, how are you doing? Oh, this is gonna open something. That did open something. Okay, it opened a tab. There is where you're at right now, and you know the- oh, wait. Why did it give me that? in Fine Houses game. This game is a good game. Now, do I like playing it? Now that's a different story. It's a no from Cogware, but yeah. Many different folders, so many labels, so many mistakes. It's sickening. I want Olivia to use her ability actually, because it's really cool with this game. Oh, I think she's using it. No, that's just a... Stop spawning right in front of me! I hate it! I think he's right there. Like behind that computer, but I can't see. I love your models, thank you. Oh yeah, by the way, this game is really scary. If you don't like horror games, I will leave right now. But, Boogie Down, Nunu, thanks for the follow, Hong Kong. Is a Starling right there? I don't know where he is. He's over here. Is he in the wall? I kinda wanna go out and see if he sees me. But actually I can't because it's the walrus. I can't tell. I can't tell where he is. The shit I had to do right now is like so horrible too. Oh, there's a voice note right there. I didn't see that. So I had to go outside anyway. I mean, yeah, I had to go outside, but whatever. Where is he? If I go out and I get jump scared, I swear to God. Okay. So he can't see me. That's cool. He's to my right. Yeah, he's over here. He's going to despawn soon. But I don't know if he's under me or what. Cause he just kinda spawned there, you know? Wait. Your tag? What? My tag, what? The label says log 2.
I just looked at the numbers.
Yeah, the numbers. The numbers. Fuck.
Entire brand's been going down the drain. The stocks, I've never seen stocks get this fucking low. And we're still bringing people on. We're still expanding. Yeah, at this point, what the fuck's a layoff gonna do? It'll sink us further into the shit!
Yeah?
Okay,
Sucks to be you.
know that the best option. I think the best option we've got, I've been... it's been going in my head for like the past 5 fucking hours now. The best option we got is to cut the game studio we've hired. Okay, you know, we've been basically dumping money into their pockets, and I don't know what exactly
fuck
they're
game
making.
developers.
I haven't heard from them in months.
Yeah, fuck game developers.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna schedule a meeting with them, okay? And if they don't have exactly what they've promised, we cut them off.
Almost as bad as freelancers?
If we're
Exactly.
asking them, it'd probably give us a fighting chance. It's... God, fuck. You know what? I just realized I'm throwing the exact same amount of money I'm paying for Harley's medical bills into this fucking game studio!
Yeah, fuck game developers, bro.
You know what? I'll figure it out.
You should kill them, honestly. That's what you should do. Bye. Now I'm gonna hope I don't die. There's something stupid that spawns right in front of me. That's what they've been doing. For some reason. Also, Clown Slot, but yeah, I thought of that like one day. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do that. Whatever. I had to go the other fucking way. Fuck. 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 They're gonna spawn right in front of me, I'm telling you. Or Olivia's gonna use her fucking shit right now. But I'm like the farthest I've been from a barrel. I'm hiding. I don't care. Okay, whatever. Do I do it again? Do I do it again? I think I had to is the thing. I literally had to do it again. But like, I don't want to. But like, I literally had to spawn all of them if I want to get out of here and like do the 20 fucking... Why is there 20 TVs? Why? Why couldn't it just be 10? Bro, 10's a good number. Like, this room is like too small for it to be 20. I don't know. I feel like 10 could have just been a good number because there's a TV right fucking there, right? Like there's a TV. Yeah, the keypad's right fucking there. I literally had to go there first, and then I had to go to the basement. But like, one might see me once I go to the basement, and like, I'm gonna get jump scared again, and like, it's gonna suck. That's why I don't want to activate it again. That's how I was trying to map everything out, and once I saw how big the basement was, I was like, holy fuck, bro. I don't know if I can do this actually. Okay, so for any of the raiders who came by, what that button is going to do is it's going to start a timer. It's going to be a 10-minute timer. And what that timer means is, you see those TVs down there that have a keypad? I had to put down the same code 20 times on 20 different TVs while the monsters are chasing me at the same time. And they're kind of just stalking this place. There's 3 of them, and they're gonna be active at the same time. Just all out here in random places. And so I basically had, and like whenever they see you, it does like a jump scare that I hate. And so like, yeah, that's why I don't want to do it. That's why I'm kind of playing like a pussy right now. And yeah, that's why I'm just like, huh, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to activate the monsters? Because right now they're just kind of spawning, like, you know, randomly. Like near me, but randomly, because, you know, that's how monsters in video games work. But once I activate that button, they're just gonna be active. Everywhere. And they're gonna be near me the entire time too, is the thing. That's why. Because, like, they do know where you are at all times. So they will just like if they ever do despawn, it'll just be to spawn near you again. And that's why I'm just like, huh, I don't know where the TVs are. I only know where some of them are. And I just know that there's a lot in the basement. But after the basement, I don't know where to go. And that's why I'm just like, huh, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to activate that TV. I don't know if I want to activate this button. Olivia hasn't done her shit in a while either. And like, that's also scaring me. Because what she does is she basically does echolocation where, she'll do like a thing that's very obvious. Because she'll literally appear on your screen. On the borders. Like, the borders. And, what that means, apparently, is, if you're not in a barrel when she does that, she'll just spawn next to you. And she's really fucking fast, too, apparently. So you know, that kinda sucks. Anyway, one just spawned right there. That's not Olivia's ability, that's just the Starling thing spawning. Oh my god, bro, this sucks. This fucking sucks. I think it wouldn't be as bad for me if they didn't jump scare you every single time they saw you. I think that's why it's bad for me. Cause like, oh yeah, Olivia's doing her shit. Look at the left border. Yeah. That's what it looks like, okay? I think it's really cool. I don't know, cause I've never seen a game like do shit with your borders like that, especially a horror game. But yeah, that's why, that's just, I don't know. It's just so much. I feel like the jump scare just makes it like worse. If they didn't jump scare you like I said, if they didn't jump scare you every single time, I think I would be able to do it. Like, make it obvious they see me, yeah, but like, not that obvious. Not that just in your face. That's the thing I hate. She's doing it again? Oh my god, bro. You didn't do it for so long and now you're doing it again, that's crazy. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why it sucks. And that's why I don't want to press that button. But I'm gonna have to press that button. It plays like this loud, oppressive music. It spawns all the starlings. When they see you, they jump scare you. I had to do this shit on 20 TVs in 10 minutes. It's so much. It's so much. I might just like... Bro, why are you doing it again? Oh no, that's another starling. Fuck, I can't even press the button now. I was gonna press the button and go to that TV and then, yeah, go to the basement. But now they won't even let me. They're just spawning naturally. I like how you can't see me in the barrel. I don't exist. I am a figment of your imagination. I hate this game. I'm just gonna do it. I just have to do it. Never mind. I was gonna do it, and I heard one just right there. And it sucks. Okay, I think I can do it now. I'm trying to listen to them. For them. But yeah, that first jump scare just got me when I first realized that they just jump scare you every single time. Like, oh my god. Because at first I was like, why did I get jump scared? And then I saw that it was chasing me, and then I got jump scared again when another one just like saw me, and that's when I realized, oh my god. But yeah, that first jump scare, like, it got me. I'm gonna be so for real, it got me. And that's why I'm being a pussy again. Because I know, I don't know, I know it won't be as bad as the first time, but just now, it just sucks. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna turn on my volume now. Are you serious? Where did it spawn? It's right there. It's right outside there. See, this is the worst part. Is I have to hide from them. Get away, Olivia. Fuck you. That's why I just like, I feel like it's too difficult for me. I think it's right there. It is right there, I see it. Yeah. Oh, is that Olivia? Oh, it is. Yeah, that's why I'm saying that. I think it's just too difficult for me, because like, I don't know. The fact there's 20 TVs, I don't even know where they all are. Like, bro, it sucks. Don't look at me. I was so afraid she was just gonna turn around and look at me. She's still here. Like, why? And I have to go to the basement. But why? There's gonna be one right here. I hear it, I hear it. Oh yeah, there's one right there. To my left now. There's one to my right and to my left. See, I told you. I told you. That's Olivia. Where do I go? I was gonna say, I don't hear one, and I heard one. It is through here? Are you serious? Bro, they want me dead. I need that TV and it just like went in the back, yeah. Thing is, I don't know where they spawned. They might be outside, like, the wall. I don't know though. Fucking hell, I hate this. That is... no. You're in the wall. So I can't see you. But you're in the fucking wall. Why are you in the wall? Why are you in the wall? Get out of the wall. Get out of there. Bro, why are they actually in the wall? I swear they can see me. You're back, hello. I need your help like a while ago. I mean, I still need your help. I'm still here. I'm just standing over there. To my right. Okay, I got like 5 TVs. I'm chilling. How's it going? It's not going good. You see how much Olivia's doing her shit? And you hear how many Stadions are near me? It's never going good, bro. I swear, it never goes good. For me. Yeah, there's one right there. Can I run them? I think there's one in the wall. Again. That's to my right. Like I said, okay, I was explaining this earlier. It's not the fact that, you know, they exist, that they're here. Like, if it was just their models, I think that would be fine. It's the fact that they jump scare you every single time they see you. I think that's the thing that, like, kills me. I think that's the thing that's, like, getting to me. If they didn't jump scare you every single time they saw you, like, I would be fine. But they jump scare you every single time they see you. And that's why it's just like, yeah. Where is this guy? Is he above me? Or is he in the fucking wall? I'm glad I'm not playing, yeah. I think he's above me. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go. I'm going to be honest, I don't know where to go now. Like, I don't know what the optimal route is. I just don't know where to go. I don't know where all the TVs are either, so I just don't know where to go. I got all the ones down here, yeah, but I don't know where to go. I could send you a video of the optimal route. Please, I won't remember it. But please. I wish I could see where all the TVs were, too. And like, oh my god, you know what else would be helpful? If it like... I know it does tell you technically how many TVs you've gotten, but I wish it like... You know how some games would be like, you know, something out of like whatever? Whenever you like complete one? I wish it did that. I really wish it did that. That would help me so much. I mean, not really. But like, it would still be helpful to know. I try to look up there, I can't. I hear them, but I don't know where they are. Send a timestamp of the video. Oh, hello. That's where you are. Oh my god, this guy completed this game in 25 minutes, and I can't do it in 4 hours? Yeah, I'm not a pussy. Honestly, I just need to do what this guy does. I just need to do this shit really fast, and not care. It's okay, it took you long. Okay, yeah, so there's a TV there, okay. Get away from my corner! Oh, and then they go to the basement. Okay, yeah. I feel like I'm not even halfway done with the game too, that's crazy. Anyway, I think my problem too is, what I do is after I get a piece, like after I get a computer, immediately what I do is hide. After just one. I don't even do it after like, I don't even do like sets of 4, I just do it after 1. Wait, why did they do 2 1-on-1? For some of the codes? Cause it has to be intentional, that was the second time they did it. Unless it was just a mistake. So they did, yeah. I feel like what they're doing though is they're moving so fast that the stars can't even catch up to them. Or like, you know, like they're spawning near him, but like they can't even catch up to him, which is what I thought of doing. But then I realized, oh wait, I can't. I don't know where the TVs are, so I couldn't do it. And when I don't know where something is, I will just move in a circle. The only problems in the room. Cause like, where does he go once she like does her shit? Cause like I said, he's moving so fast, like, it feels like it doesn't matter. Wait, what? How do you know that code? Oh, it's that one. Oh, you have to do the entire fucking thing. I didn't realize. But yeah, see how he's moving so fast? Like, I don't know. Produce better to leave last. I didn't even know you had to go in there. What? I can't do this. I don't know that code. I don't even know the... What? Yeah, I can't do this. Oh my fucking god. I thought it was just the TVs in that room. I lost in Vivo? No. Yeah, I thought it would just be in this area. How do you find the codes then? Oh, she's right there. How do you get those codes? That's a simple code. Oh, but like the 2 door codes, I don't even know. I didn't even know they existed. That's crazy. Okay, what about this? What if for the past, you know, until next Saturday, hypothetically, yeah, I just watched that video over and over again. And then, we just see. Yeah, we just see, like, if I can memorize it. And if I don't memorize it, it's my fault. But like, if I can memorize it, then yeah, I'll just watch it over and over again. I'll see what happens. Is it the hardest part? To be fair, I don't think I can memorize it. Theater half has really niche puzzles. Okay, you see, I can deal with the niche puzzles because I love puzzles. I love like solving like shit like that, you know, like the little ARG shit. That's what I love about this game. Not this. I don't like this. This part, I don't like this. I don't like it. Let's see, funny criticism I have on this game. Because of like the weird shit. I saw a lot of people criticize
Here you
the
go. Have a head pat.
the DECD puzzle. I've seen so many people criticize that puzzle. Because they had to change the title of the puzzle too, right? Because it wasn't clear what the fuck you had to like do until they changed the title of the puzzle to 11 seconds. Because what was it called? It was just called Crystals, right? Or like something like that. Like it was just really cryptic. Not telling you what you had to do, but yeah. You know? That makes a lot of sense. It does. It does make a lot of sense. But yeah. Crystals and one of the audios you can find. The guy says I found last part. No, it's pretty nice, which was the OG hint. I see. Hi sis, how's it going? I'm dying. I'm just like talking to chat while I'm hiding in a barrel from monsters. Not trying to do the rest of the game, but yeah. It kind of turned into a just chatting stream right now. But yeah. After Def learned about this and the new game seems way better. I don't even think I've seen the trailer for the new game. I know it's like you go in a hotel and you're a cop, right? And I think the villain is Vandal. But that's all I know. But yeah, it's this part seems like the hardest part, I will be honest. And that's why I'm just like, I don't know if I can do it, because I don't know the codes for like those 2 gates that the guy opened. I didn't even know that I had to go over there. I didn't even know how I had to go to those areas to get the TVs. I'm just assuming that it's the other game that Connor made. Well. But, yeah. I don't even know, it's just tricky. Yeah, that's why I didn't know I had to go to those rooms. I thought it was just in this area. I didn't know I had to leave. But apparently I had to leave. And then I didn't know that... I don't know. I feel like after I get past this... Like, if I ever get past this... Oh my god, hi Meek, thanks for the boop. I feel like if I ever get past this, I feel like... I feel like I'll love the game, actually. It's just that this part fucking sucks. Why do I have to... How do you even find out the codes, like, for those doors? How do you even find that out? Because I don't know them, is this thing. I don't know where you find the codes to those doors. Wait, is it in the... Hang on. Is it here? Running around... Is it Napoleon? You know what steps to do next. Stay far away from Giovanni, he can hear these. Okay. Is this task 1? Yeah, that was task 1. Okay, then what's task... Get away from my corner! Bring the batteries in computer range, drop them onto one box, it'll... Okay, no. This doesn't tell me the codes. There's some hints around, but I don't know where they are. I thought it would just be here. I mean, this tells me codes, not the codes I need. I mean, I try to read everything I saw. But like, I don't think that helped. I don't think that helped. I tried to read every sign I saw, but like, I think some of the monsters were like in like the bad areas. I found a tape recorder too, and I don't know how to get back to it because I was being chased. And I don't know how to get back to it. And I'm just like, what the fuck do I do? I kind of want to try again, but like, at the same time, I'm just like, huh? What do I do? Oh wait, that's that. I don't want to look at that anymore. Okay, cause this still gives me, yeah, I still have the map. I still don't know where the basement's in this little fucking corner, right? Right there. I wish this map told you where the TVs were. Actually, I should look at your YouTube videos too. And I believe his face scares the hell out of you. No, like I said, the designs don't scare you, just the fact that they jump scare you every single time they see you. I don't like that. And that's the thing I don't like. The other her face. I don't know what you're talking about. How do I go to... Where is it? I have to go to YouTube. I have to go to my history. Is it this? Oh wait, these are... Wait, these are two different... Oh, I didn't know these were different. Okay, I should look at this then. Sorry, I'm doing the ARD shit, because like I said, that's the shit I like the most. Demo. Intelligent. Totem. Description. Description. Oh, it is to the game? Oh, it is to the game. Okay. What's... Sorry, I just wanted to look at what this was. I haven't had a chance to look at this, so... Now that I'm here, I think it's the perfect time to look at these. What's jail 1? What that? What that? That's teeth. That's teeth. I don't like that. Oh my god, thanks for the rose. One, two, three, four. Is this a... What is this for? It's probably later in the game. I love the time Phil said it's shipwrecking time and shipwrecked all over the place. Truly a steering moment. Okay, this is probably something for later that I don't even know about. But yeah, I'm kind of just like, I'm at a loss of what to do. I'm actually being so for real. I don't want to go out there. I don't want to read the codes. I don't want to do the shit right now. Like I said, the exploring shit, that's what I like. The ARG shit, that's what I liked. I love reading stupid ARGs. I love that shit. Believe me, it's like one of my favorite pastimes to do. I don't know why. But this shit right here, I hate. I hate it. I actually hate it. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to be loud. Because I can't be loud right now, but I think I'm being loud, so whatever. I mean, if I can't be loud, I think it's time to end, actually. Because I am hearing a lot of things downstairs, and that's just telling me, oh, I can't be loud right now. So, yeah. Anyway. I'm gonna end now. I think that was a good stopping point anyway. I was just kind of there for an hour. Just kind of spitting, you know? But yeah. This was fun. like I said, I love you just joined. Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Here you go.
Thanks
Have
for
a
that.
head.
You're welcome. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Like I said, I loved the first half of this game when I was just like doing the ARG shit. I loved it. Once I got to the other area, oh my god, I couldn't. But yeah. Anyway, what am I doing tomorrow? Tomorrow, I want to play Pokemon tomorrow. I'm gonna try and play Pokemon tomorrow. And just it gets cool. I mean, I know. I've seen people play this game before. It's just I don't know how they did like. I don't remember anyone playing this area though. That's why I don't remember this, but yeah. Anyway, tomorrow I want to play Pokemon. Like I said, I'm trying not to be loud, so I'm sorry, but tomorrow I want to play Pokemon. I'm gonna change my stream schedule too, by the way. I'm gonna stream on Mondays from now on instead of Tuesdays. So my stream schedule will be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think that'll flow really well, especially with how I streamed, so yeah. I'm talking with my hands a lot today, I don't know why. Cause you can't see it, so I don't know, it's kinda stupid. And yeah, whatever, Pokemon tomorrow. And then on Monday, more Zelda. And then on Wednesday, more Pokemon. And on Friday, more Zelda. And on Saturday, probably, I don't know if I'm gonna stream this. I don't know if I'm gonna be a pussy. I might be a pussy, who knows? I'm gonna be a pussy, yeah. And then on Sunday, more Pokemon. I'm talking fast, I'm sorry. But like I said, I can speak clearly while I talk fast. And that's why I like talking fast, because I can speak clearly while talking fast. And I don't know, I just really like it. Anyway, I'm doing it to be annoying now. I'm gonna raid someone. Who do I raid? I don't know who I raid, I'm just scared. I'm so fucking scared right now. Who's streaming that's playing a horror game? Raid time? Yeah. Who do I know that's playing a horror game? Because maybe I will
Here you
raid
go.
them.
Have a head pat.
Thanks for the head pat. If not, actually wait, I can maybe see a VTuber playing Shipwrecked. I might be the only one playing Shipwrecked though. Oh, I mean I'm not, but I'm the most viewers. So, you know, I feel cooler, I guess. Someone's playing Dead by Daylight. Should I raid them? I don't like Dead by Daylight. I'll say barbecue Doritos. You'll say what I tell you to say. I mean, yeah, I know this guy who's playing Dead by Daylight, so I think I should raid them. You know, I kinda don't like Dead by Daylight, but whatever. It's a horror game, I guess. Here, do that. Do that right now. Or I will kill you or something in-game, obviously. I don't like Dead by Daylight, but you know. I'll raid them, whatever. There's nothing wrong with it, I just think like all Dead by Daylight players are subhuman, so you know, whatever. Anyway. Bye. Oh wait, I didn't start the raid. Okay, wait, bye in 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 sec. Okay, bye.